An injury-plagued Louisiana team hasn't had the start it wanted, but they could easily be 3-1. Marshall's reconstructed team has won its last 2 games, but none of that matters starting tonight as Sun Belt Conference play begins for the 2 teams that met for the league title last year. The Cajuns and the Thundering Herd next on ESPN+. Welcome to the Cajuns' brand new home at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. This place looked much different last December for that title game. The teams also were very different. The Herd had a big win in that
pass and chose them to defer till the second half.
Portal after a coaching change. In fact, less than 10 players make the return trip to Cajun country tonight. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dan McDonald, along with my broadcast partner Eric Mouton. Ben Schaefer joins us on the sideline shortly. Eric, Marshall had so few players stick around that the Herd had to pull out of the Independence Bowl last year. New coach Tony Gibson had to rebuild, but they may have found the answer at quarterback.
Yeah, Dan. Carlos Del Rio Wilson got his first start 2 weeks ago against Eastern Kentucky, but last week the Atlanta native broke loose. The Sun Belt's Offensive Player of the Week hit on 18 of 22 passes for 261 yards and 4 touchdowns. The last 2 in the fourth quarter, when the Herd rallied to beat Middle Tennessee. The transfer from Syracuse has completed 79% of his passes for 6 scores and 0 interceptions so far.
The Cajuns had their second close loss last week, falling on a final play field goal at Eastern Michigan. But one bright spot was the run game. Running backs averaging nearly 7 yards a carry so far. Silent Perry has been the big part of that.
Yeah, the junior from nearby Franklin had his first 100-yard game of the year last week, going for 110 and 2 scores on only 15 carries. He's had 86 or more yards in each of Louisiana's last 3 games, and he and running mate Bill Davis have already accounted for over 600 yards this season.
It's not quite as hot as the first 2 games that Louisiana played at home this year. Still 81 degrees at kickoff, but a beautiful night. No rain in the forecast. Humidity definitely in the forecast. Marshall wins the toss. They defer. They'll be kicking it off to the Cajuns. Lorcan Quinn, the product of Donegal, Ireland, with the kickoff, and no surprise, that's now 17 touchbacks on 22 kickoff attempts this year for the former Gaelic football standout. Cajuns will get the football first to start off this one. Opening Sun Belt game for both of these 2 teams. This is the first weekend of the Sun Belt season that there's more than 1 game played. 3 games played in the Sun Belt this year. We'll talk about, or this weekend rather, we'll talk about those when we get the opportunity, as Daniel Beal, who took over for the injured Walker Howard, getting his 4th start of the year. Silent Perry, the running back. Perry will get the first call, and he's got a little running room, but tripped up. Nice individual tackle, Boogie Trotter, the senior cornerback, is there to make the stop. Perry picks up 3 yards. Perry and his running mate Bill Davis already over the 1,000-yard mark for their careers. In fact, it's sort of ironic. They have really balanced the snaps this year. 38 snaps for Perry last week, 30 for Davis. Perry gets it again and can't find any running room. Marshall closes down. Jabril Alameen, right side linebacker, transfer from Jacksonville State's there to make the stop. So Cajuns are going to be faced with a 3rd and long already. Louisiana this year has not been real good on 3rd downs, only 35%, 18 out of 52. Beal looking for somebody to throw to. He'll throw it downfield. It is incomplete. A lot of contact, but no call as Dateon Smith, redshirt junior, was there in coverage. And Louisiana will have to punt it away in its first possession.
Yeah, great series from Marshall. You know they want to take the run away. They're actually 2nd in the Sun Belt against the run, and boy, you see a lot of contact right there. Good coverage, but I don't know if he turned around. Smith was step for step with him. Never turned around for the ball, no flag. Cajuns will have to punt.
Floyd Lacey is the deep man to handle the punt from Nathan Torney. Here's the end over end reverse kick from the Aussie. Torney's got it, and he's got a little running room. Nice tackle at the 35-yard line, or else he might have been still running down the sidelines. So the Herd will take over in good field position. Blake Bates, a redshirt freshman, is there to make the stop for a Cajun special team. Now it will be the Thundering Herd on offense. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, a big game last weekend. Four touchdown passes, also ran for one. He was the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week, along with a couple of other offensive awards he won. The Manning Award and one of the Davey O'Brien Grade 8. And he'll be back to throw on first down. A lot of pressure. Grabbed him by the jersey, but he managed to escape that. He'll come up just short of the first down, but athletic move by Del Rio Wilson. Jordan Lawson had him by the shirt collar, but he was able to shake that one loose and ended up picking up 9 yards. Hand off up the middle, and the Thundering Herd will have the first down. Powering forward, Michael Allen, the redshirt junior, getting his second start. One of the Cajuns losing a headgear, that's Jalen Kreider. He'll have to go out to transfer from Toledo and Youngstown State. But the Herd already in Cajun territory. Allen again picking his way, finding some running room. Check that. That wasn't Allen. That was DeMarcus Lacey. Listed as DeMarcus, also listed as Floyd, but normally listed as a wide receiver, but they had him in the full house backfield. Now he'll go in motion. And this is Allen this time, and he is going to be wrapped up for a loss. Louisiana with good penetration that time.
Lawson again just using his speed, getting in the backfield. They're unable to block him so far. They had Del Rio Wilson a while ago, but Del Rio Wilson 6'2", 219, big, strong, can throw it and run it.
Chase Edwards was there to finish him off. 3rd and long for the Thundering Herd. 33% this year on 3rd down. The pass over the middle, it's complete. They'll pick up a first down. Found an open man. That goes back to Lacey. Floyd Lacey, the senior. Product of Birmingham. Transfer from Jacksonville State. Make the catch for the first down. Brent Gordon Jr. there to make the tackle. The product of Cecilia High School. But another first down for the Thundering Herd. And once again, Allen with nothing doing this time.
Lawson in the backfield again.
Jordan Lawson is already making an impact. The native of Brandon, Mississippi, on the Senior Bowl watch list. Preseason first team all-conference after making second team last year.
They have not been able to get a hat on him. He is being disruptive early on.
Del Rio Wilson to throw, and it's complete. The ball's coming loose. It'll be incomplete, actually. Never secured it. Was Allen on the wheel route out of the backfield. Cortland Flowers.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Will replay 2nd down.
Holding is going to be called on Tariq Montgomery, redshirt junior. First penalty of the ball game. That'll back it up. Cajuns choosing to take the yardage rather than the down. It'll bring up a 2nd and about 22. Del Rio Wilson, native of Atlanta, transferred from Syracuse. Rolling out, throwing over the middle. That is again complete, down to about the 25-yard line. Looks like he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. Brent Gordon Jr. is there to make the stop, but Zarion Turner Bradshaw, Virginia Tech transfer.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Might have bobbled it a little bit. They'll take it up to the replay booth. As they take the break, we will too. 10:40 left in the first quarter, just underway here at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. No score in this Sun Belt Conference battle.
Here in Acadiana,
and communicator Jay Haygood took a good look at this one. At first, it looked like a catch by Xavier Turner Bradshaw, but he bobbled it on the way down, and it was ruled no catch, and that'll bring up a 3rd and long. Turner Bradshaw is dad Ahmad, a member of the Marshall Athletic Hall of Fame. Had a solid professional career. 2 Super Bowl wins with the Giants. 3rd and 22. Del Rio Wilson's got the play called, back to throw. He's going to throw the out pattern, but a tackle well short of the first down. DeAndre Tamarez makes the catch. Stopped by Flowers once again. About the 35-yard line, it would be a 52, maybe 53-yard field goal. Now, there's no question that Lorcan Quinn has that kind of distance. His question is accuracy. His misses this year have come from 26 and 32 yards. He's also hit one from 50. This would be a career long. It's got plenty distance, and it is up and good. 53 yards on the field goal for the freshman Gaelic footballer, and Marshall's on the board first. 9:52 left here in quarter number 1. Thundering Herd 3, Raging Cajuns nothing.
Welcome back to Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. I'm your sideline reporter, Ben Schaefer. Earlier this week, Cajuns head coach Michael Desramos said that conference play is an opportunity for his team to reset and get back to the fundamentals. One area they're looking to improve on is penalties. Right now, through the first 4 games, the Cajuns are averaging 7 penalties per game with 54 yards. It's a significant uptick from last year, but folks, the thing is, these penalties have come at the worst times and really proved to be daggers in some of these early Cajuns losses. Coach Desramos said they addressed it this week at practice and are looking to greatly improve on it moving forward. Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben. A 53-yard field goal by Lorcan Quinn has given the Thundering Herd a 3-0 lead. Quinn will be there to kick it off, and he'll again kick it through the end zone. He had not been in person at an American football game until the first game this year when Marshall played Georgia. And ironically, kicker for Georgia, of course, is a Lafayette product. A guy, Eric, you're familiar with, Peyton Woodring.
Yes, indeed, from Ascension Episcopal, an All-American, and Under Armour All-American. And a great kicker right now for Georgia. Actually, his little brother's playing a little linebacker for the Blue Gators now.
1st and 10 for Louisiana at the 25-yard line. With 3 and out on the first series. High snap to Beal. He's back to throw. He'll dump it off. Finding a little bit of space on the right side. That's Trey Miller, one of the backup tight ends. He's going to pick up about 8 yards. Dateon Smith, the redshirt junior safety, is there to make the tackle. Bill Davis is the running back for the Cajuns this series. Perry's got 124 snaps this year. Davis with 103, so they have really divided up duties in every game. 2nd and short, Beal's back to throw. He's going to air it out. He's got a man just off the fingertips. Tried to go back to Trey Miller. Smith again was the guy on the coverage. Miller had some space, just couldn't haul it in.
And Marshall came with a little blitz right up the middle. Great job by Bill Davis of picking that one up. A big-time collision allowed his quarterback time to throw, just overthrew him.
3rd and 2. Davis has it. He is hit in the backfield, and he won't get there. In fact, he's going to lose a yard. Marshall's defense coming up big again. Javay Gilmore. Louisiana native Gilmore from Amite, played at Mississippi State before transferring, and once again Louisiana's going to go 3 and out.
Yeah, you know Marshall wants to take away that run. They're going to put 7 in the box, make them throw the football, and the banged up offensive line for Louisiana doesn't help.
Nathan Torney, the senior from Kyabram, Australia, transfer from Southern Illinois. He'll get away the Aussie kick. Pretty good one, but some running room again.
Fumble.
And the ball comes loose. Big scramble at the 25-yard line. Cajuns say they have it, and they do.
Is that Robinson that dove on that?
Lacey was the guy who bobbled it. And it might have been Charles Robertson,
on the field,
the sophomore from
possessed
Zachary.
the ball and then fumbled. It was recovered by the kicking team. 1st and 10, Louisiana.
So the first turnover of the game goes Louisiana's way. Cajuns will have it at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, just lost the football, tried to run with it, didn't secure it right there. A great hustle by Robinson to dive on that.
I mean, Lacey had it, and it looked like almost he was trying to cut back the other direction.
Yep.
It wasn't like he bobbled it right off the kick, but the ball came loose, and a lot of red jerseys around it. 1st and 10 to 25. Davis gets the call. He's got some running room. He's at the 15, dives forward, Supermaning it inside the 15. Cam Smith goes down low to make the stop. Not before Davis picks up the first down of the night for Louisiana.
Well, great cutback right there as the offensive line had on hat created that opening Had all of their momentum going one way. The cutback, the big play there on offense after the big play from special teams.
Davis preseason first team all conference at one of the running back spots. He'll get the call again. Had running room for a second, shook loose a tackle. He'll be inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. One of the Thundering Herd had him by the foot. That was Javay Gilmore again, the A-Meat product. Gilmore played 57 snaps defensively last week in Marshall's 42-28 win over Middle Tennessee. And Coach Tony Gibson said his Thundering Herd defense really took over the game in the fourth quarter of that one. Beal is back to throw. He's going to throw the opposite way, and he's got a man. Did he hold on?
He did not.
No, couldn't hold on to it. Raji Dennis, the redshirt freshman from Edna Carr out of New Orleans, tried to make the diving catch.
Boy, he almost made a big-time one-handed catch, but he's free because they're able to run the ball right now. And boy, those Thundering Herd are keeping an eye on the running backs. Great play action right there, and a pretty good throw from Beal, just unable to make the big-time circus catch for the touchdown.
3rd and 5 at the 9. Jensen, the tight end, goes in motion. Was looking for him, was throwing it over the middle. Looking for Kadarius Wade. Wade, the sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of the younger Cajun receivers are going to see a lot of action tonight because their two most effective receivers this year, Robert Williams and Shelton Sampson, both out with injuries.
And Beal wanted that one back. A crossing route. Wade was open. Beal just threw it right, a little bit too far behind him. He couldn't bring it in.
Tony Sterner, the junior from Incarnate Word, 6 out of 9 this year. He's got this one up high, and it is up and good. Tony Sterner with the field goal. 6:46 left in the first quarter. We're all tied. Cajuns 3, Thundering Herd 3.
Injured?
Tony Gibson took over as head coach of the Thundering Herd only one day after Marshall won the Sun Belt Championship game and had one of the weird weekends in all of college football last week. Charles Huff led the Thundering Herd to the conference title right here at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. Left the next day to take the job at Southern Miss. Tony Gibson was hired later that day. So Eric, you're not telling me that wasn't already a setup along the way. 30th year he's been in college head coaching, but this is his first head coaching job. And his team right now tied 3-3 as the kickoff from Logan Klotz is going to go down to Xavier Turner Bradshaw. He's going to come up a little short of the 25, and that's where the Thundering Herd will take over. Midway through the first quarter, Sun Belt Conference opener for both of these two teams. Coach Gibson's a native of Van, West Virginia. It's about an hour 45 minutes away from the Marshall campus. I looked up the population of Van, West Virginia, 177.
177?
Yes.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
But they played high school football up until this year. This year just said they could not get enough players to come out.
That's impressive.
Right up the gut by the quarterback, Carlos Del Rio Wilson. He won't hesitate to run it. He's run for 84 yards this year and a couple of touchdowns. Terrence Williams, a senior from Manny and a former running back himself, is there to make the tackle. Pick up of about 5. Quick toss on the outside. Hit right at the 30-yard line. We'll have to see where the spot is. Looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. As Allen bowled his way to the 31, Cortland Flowers is there for the stop. So 1st and 10 at the 31 as Del Rio Wilson back to throw, looking, and now breaks down. Flips it out to the safety valve and a nice bit of running. Wow. Still going. That was Michael Allen, the tailback. Williams finally brings him down, but Allen was just his 2nd reception of the year. But he has got it up enough for a first down. Now he'll get the call again, hit hard right when he crossed the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a gain of about 3, and Terrence Williams once again is in there on the stop. Allen was not the starter at the start of the year. Jashawn Barbie, native of Harvey, Louisiana, out of West Jeff High, started the first couple of games, but he is out with an injury. So Allen takes over as the primary back. Rushed for 135 yards, has not had a tackle for lost yardage through the first 4 games. He's got it again. He's got a little running room. Nope, that's not him. This is Justin Williams-Thomas.
Number 9, Justin Williams-Thomas.
Backup running back. Started in Tennessee, went to Cal, and now back with Marshall. Jalen Clark there for the tackle. Williams-Thomas comes up a couple of yards short of the first down. So 3rd and short. Quick snap throw out to the side. That will pick up a first down. Completion will go to Ben Turner, hometown product from Huntington. The senior with his 6th catch of the year. Jaden Duggar and Trey Tomlinson in on the stop. Deep ball this time on first down, but overthrew everybody. DeAndre Tamaris was back there, but so were a couple of Cajuns. Brent Gordon Jr., native of Breaux Bridge, was the lead coverage guy down on the right side. So 2nd and 10. Jet sweep coming this way and some running room, and boy, all kinds of flags are going to come in for a hold. Lacey got the carry.
Holding, offense, number 9. That's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay 2nd down.
Ted Pitts, our referee of the Sun Belt Conference tonight. This one was pretty easy.
Very easy. Grabs him up around the shoulder pads right there, turns him around, allows him to get to the edge. But they'll come back, and now they are behind the sticks. They were playing with some pace every time they got a first down. They were not allowing Louisiana to sub. Then after that completion, Louisiana was able to get a few fresh defensive linemen in the game.
Lacey had enough for the first down, but the holding call on Williams-Thomas will make it 2nd and long. Empty backfield for Del Rio Wilson. He'll flip it out. Completion out here again to Lacey, but Cortland Flowers is right there to make the open field tackle after a gain of only about 1 yard.
And you mentioned an open field tackle. A lot of offenses are just designed to get you one-on-one, guys in space, your quick playmakers, and right there Flowers able to make that solo tackle to bring up a 3rd and long. Very long.
We'll call it 19. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. He'll throw it on the sideline, but that's going to be, again, well short of the first down. The completion's made to Adrian Norton, the junior from Harbor Heights, Ohio, by way of Akron. Flowers is again there on the tackle.
Coach Salgado dialing up a little pressure right there, coming with a blitz. Flowers doing a great job of giving that cushion, not allowing him to get anywhere near that first down marker, and then coming up, making another nice solo tackle.
Nathan Totten, the left-footed sophomore, 2nd in the conference with a 46-yard average on his punts. Landon Strother is back deep for the Cajuns. He'll call for the fair catch. He'll let it bounce, and it will just trickle into the end zone. So Louisiana will take over after the touchback. It'll be a 51-yard punt for Totten. Done a really good job punting this year for the Thundering Herd, 19th in the country. Also 2nd in the conference in net punting. So teams have not had a lot of punt returns. Michael Desormeaux for Louisiana. His 10th year at UL overall, his 4th year as a head coach. In fact, his first ever game that he coached was against the Thundering Herd. That came in the 2021 New Orleans Bowl. Silent Perry back in at the running back spot. He gets the call on first down, muscles his way up for about 4, maybe 5 before Marvay Myers, transfer from Middle Tennessee, is there for the tackle. Myers, a redshirt senior. A lot of upperclassmen in the starting lineup for the Thundering Herd. Beal back to throw. He's under some pressure. Ball came loose. He was hit from behind. But Jax Harrington, the native of Erath, is there to fall on it. Braylon Ward is the guy who knocked it free. Cajuns lucky to keep possession on that. So 3rd and 11. Beal back to throw. He's going to throw over the middle. Was looking for Jaden Johnson, who was cutting across. The redshirt junior from Missouri City, Texas, led him a little too much. So the Cajuns will have another 3 and out, 2 times in 3 possessions now, other than the drive to the field goal.
And a pretty clean pocket right there. Offensive line did their job, allowed him to step up. Just led his receiver again. A little bit too much right there, incomplete. Punt.
Torney again into punt. 43.9 average this year. Gets the end over end kick. Fair catch is going to be called at the 42-yard line, and Lacey able to hang on. So it will be Marshall football in pretty good field position in the final minute of quarter number 1. Both teams with a field goal. Thundering Herd on their first possession, Cajuns on their second. This is one of 3 Sun Belt Conference games being played today. First weekend that there's been more than one game matching Sun Belt teams. That's Del Rio Wilson. Out of the pistol, he'll roll right. A throw toward the sideline, dangerous pass. Intended for Adrian Norton, Brent Gordon Jr. Again, the freshman from Breaux Bridge there with the defensive play.
Both corners for the Raging Cajuns having nice nights so far. That's a great close right there as they just try to go with a quick out. Try to get 5 or 6 yards right there on first down. Nothing doing. Great job by Gordon. Now 2nd and 10.
Empty backfield for Del Rio Wilson. Sweep on the right side. Taking the handoff is Tony Mathis. Richard Sr. from Orlando, Florida, has only got 3 carries this year. Trey Tomlinson is in at the star linebacker spot now, with the injury to regular starter Marion Elio. He moves over from the cornerback spot. Brett Gordon Jr. steps in at corner. 3rd and 8. The final 15 seconds of quarter number 1. Del Rio Wilson under some pressure, evades the first guy, dumps it off. Nice alert move to keep the chains moving. Alert play on both ends from Del Rio Wilson and Adrian Norton, who gets the reception. It'll be into Cajun territory. That's where the herd will have it when we return. We've got 1 quarter in the books. Louisiana 3 and Marshall 3.
for everything.
This is just the 4th all-time meeting between Louisiana and Marshall. The first one came back in 2021. That was in the New Orleans Bowl. Michael Desormeaux's first game as Cajun coach after he took over when Billy Napier accepted the Florida job. Marshall joined the Sun Belt Conference the following year. The next year, Cajuns went up to Huntington. They took a 23-13 win. They scored 20 straight points in the second half after a weather delay. And then last year, the two teams met in the conference championship game. Marshall rolled to a big win in that one, 31-3. Del Rio Wilson. This time the Cajuns are going to hold on in the backfield. He's been able to slip out of some tackles under pressure a couple of times, but this time Cortland Flowers and Cameron Whitfield, a pair of the seniors teaming up. Dallas and Houston combining for the first sack of the ball game on Del Rio Wilson.
And Salgado dialing up that pressure again. Linebacker and a corner came that time on the blitz. It got to him. Now they're behind the chains, 2nd and long.
This is design quarterback draw and a lot of yardage. What an athletic move by Del Rio Wilson. Hurdled a Cajun would-be tackler, and he got all the way up, picked up those 15 yards and a couple more. Watch this play.
Wow, they've had some success with those quick throws to the wide receivers in space. Now, if you miss the opening, he is the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year. 18 for 22, 261 yards, and 4 touchdowns last weekend.
Carry up the middle. This is once again Lacey, listed as a wide receiver, but he's lined up in the backfield a couple of times tonight. He's only got 4 carries on the season going into tonight, but he's been averaging over 12 yards a carry coming into this evening's game. Colin Jacob, redshirt junior defensive back, is in there to make the stop. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. A lot of time. He'll throw over the middle. Big time hit, but holding on is Michael Allen out of the backfield, and he'll have another first down. And once again, Colin Jacob, junior from Lauraville. Not seen much action this year, but with a couple of defenders hurt for the Cajuns, Mari and Elam among those. A lot of younger guys having to step in. Carry on first down. Allen hit right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he might even lose a yard. Jaden Duggar, Cajuns' leading tackler with 32 stops this year. That's 5th in the Sun Belt Conference. 2nd and 11. This drive started at the Marshall 44-yard line. Del Rio Wilson calling his own number. Tripped up as he gets inside the 20. They'll spot him down at about the 16. 3rd and manageable again. And again, Colin Jacob. He's already been involved in 3 tackles tonight. Terrence Williams also in there on the hit. 3rd down now. 3rd down and about 6.
Raging Cajuns showing blitz here. Linebackers are up on the line. Let's see if they come or if they drop out of it into coverage. They're coming.
Allen shifts out of it. Here comes the option play. Del Rio Wilson finds a seam. He's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Thundering Herd. Chase Edwards is there to make the tackle, but a good offensive call with the Cajuns coming with pressure.
Yeah, really good call right there, getting him out on the edge. 6'2", about 220. Big quarterback, strong, agile, quick. Does a nice job of turning the corner right there and fighting for that first down.
1st and goal at the 9. Del Rio Wilson has Allen in the pistol. He'll change the play. 3 wide receivers to the left. Now the tight end in motion. Allen's got a big hole. He's inside the 5. He's going to power his way into the end zone.
Touchdown, Marshall.
Michael Allen, the transfer from North Carolina State by way of UNLV, has his 2nd touchdown of the year. He had 90 yards rushing last week against Middle Tennessee in his best game yet in a Thundering Herd uniform. And he's put the Herd back on top. And that was just individual effort. Quinn in to try to tack on the extra point. 14 out of 14 this year. Make it 15 out of 15. 10:51 left in the second period. The Thundering Herd take the lead again. They lead the Cajuns 10-3. Marshall was looking for a quarterback. Ja'Kai Long started the first game against Georgia. Zion Turner came on and started the second game against Missouri State. Del Rio Wilson stepped into the starting lineup for game number 3, and all he's done since then is complete 79% of his passes, 379 yards in just 2 games. He's second in the Sun Belt with 6 touchdowns. And he just engineered a drive that has his team out front 10-3 as Quinn gets set to put his foot into it. And this one's again down deep in the end zone. It will go through the back of the end zone. Louisiana will take over again, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Eric, Cajuns have struggled so far to get anything going offensively. Only 1 first down in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Marshall putting guys in the box is difficult to throw if you don't have that running game going. Louisiana comes in number 2 in yards per rush in the Sun Belt at 6.13, and Marshall's doing a good job of taking that run game away so far tonight. Davis back in at running back.
Cajuns have averaged about 199 yards a game on the ground, but they have not been able to get any consistent passing game going. They are 14th out of 14 teams in the Sun Belt throwing the football. Beal back to throw, throwing over the middle. This one's caught complete, a leaping catch.
Strother?
That's Landon Strother, the redshirt freshman from St. Thomas More here in Lafayette. Caleb Clark Glover is there to make the stop, but Strother was his 2nd catch of the year, and it's enough for the 2nd first down of the ball game.
Goes up high with 2 hands, brings that one in. Big play right there, move the chains.
Bill Davis in the backfield as Strother comes in motion. Beal pulls it back. He'll roll right, and he'll throw over the middle. He's got another completion. And for another first down, this one's complete to Dale Martin, who got his first start of his 4-year career in tonight's game. Starting at the X wide receiver position, the redshirt senior from Maurice, just down Highway 167. Just about 20 minutes from Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium.
Play action, Beal on the move with an accurate throw. 2 first downs on this drive.
First catch of the year for Martin. Davis will carry it this time. He'll get hit just past the line of scrimmage. He'll get slung forward for about a 3-yard pickup. Carry on Martin. It's there for the stop. Davis, the product of Laplace and Riverside Academy. 3 touchdowns this year. He and Perry both with 3 scores. They will change it up. Just 3 on the play clock as he's back to throw again. Finds a wide open man out on the left side. That's Davis again, but he has run out of bounds down into Thundering Herd territory. Daryl Sheeting finally runs him out of bounds. But without question, Louisiana's best offensive march of the night so far. They've got it at the 35.
Yeah, I think Beal checked out of it. He saw some pressure coming, got Davis out of the backfield. Nice catch there from Davis, and he knows what to do with it. He's going to run north-south when he gets his hands on the football.
From the 35, 1st and 10. Davis will get the call again. And he's got some running room again on the left side. He'll dive forward. Looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down. Daryl Sheeting again. No, actually they will spot him right at the 25-yard line. It's good enough for another first down. 4 first downs in this drive. Sheeting, the product of Temple, finally ran him out of bounds, but right at the 25-yard line.
Caden Jensen with a great job of sealing the edge so he can turn the corner right there. The tight end doing his job, blocking, keeping that defensive end inside.
He will hand it off to Davis again, and this time nothing doing. White shirts and green jerseys surrounded him when he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain, 2nd down.
Katron Evans, he's a large young man in there at the nose tackle spot. 6'3", 336 pounds. Began his college career at Jackson State. Went to Charlotte, and the Norfolk, Virginia native joins the Herd this year. 2nd and 10. Beal back to throw under some pressure. Evades a defender. Now he's got a little running room, and he's going to go out of bounds. Where will they spot him? Inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. Pickup of 6. Beal's not scared to run it. He's got 7 rushes this year. He's got a long gain of 22 yards.
Boy, did a nice job right there avoiding the rush. And a ton of room on that side. He's able to outrun one of those linebackers trying to head him off with the pass. He's able to make a nice play there on 2nd down.
3rd and 4.
Timeout.
We've got a timeout taken by the Thundering Herd. We'll take it with them. 6:48 left in the first half. Marshall leads, but the Cajuns threatening. Louisiana knew that they were going to be successful this year offensively, they'd have to run the football, and they had the two guys they wanted back there, Zylan Perry and Bill Davis, a junior and a sophomore. Both of them, they've combined now for over 2,500 career yards between the two of them, 24 touchdowns between the two. Perry with 1,306 career rush yards, Davis with 1,254. Davis leads the team in carries. Perry leads the team in yardage. He's second in the conference and 11th in the country with a 7.5-yard average per carry. And we'll see what the Cajuns do on 3rd and a long 4. And getting the call, running the football, this is Zylan Perry, and he is going to get into the end zone. Perry came in during the timeout and found a big opening on the left side. And he's got his 4th touchdown of the year.
That offensive line a little banged up, a few starters out, but those guys are proud and they're going to get in there and absolutely compete for these two running backs and their quarterback. And they did a great job right there. And Perry uses his speed to get inside the pylon for the touchdown.
Cajuns have 3 offensive linemen not available tonight, including one of the starters, the right side tackle, George Jackson. That time found a big hole as Tony Sterner comes on. He toes through the point. 10 out of 10 this year. With 6:41 left in the first half, the Cajuns answer. They'll tie this one up 10-10. Marshall coach Tony Gibson had a monumental rebuilding task. While 31 players hit the transfer portal at the end of the season last year, only 16 returning lettermen. In fact, when I talked to him this week, he said there was some question if they would even have enough bodies in order to have spring drills this year. But he credited his staff, almost a completely new staff. First day of spring practice, they had 107 players. And he said that's because his staff did such a great job of putting things back together. Coach Gibson also took a $500,000 pay cut after leaving a coordinator spot at North Carolina State to take the Marshall job. Kickoff going into the corner on the right side. Fair catch taken down there by Turner Bradshaw. And Marshall will take over after the fair catch, 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Del Rio back on. He has been impressive. A lot of zone reads, a little play action. He can throw it, he can run it. 6'2", 219. You saw him hurdle one of the D-backs. Let's see if Louisiana can dial up a little pressure here, maybe get a stop, get the ball back before the end of the half.
Cajuns go 75 yards in 8 plays to get the tying touchdown, and a 19-yard run by Zylan Perry has us all even at 10 as a first down handoff, finding just a little running room and then banged down hard. That's Tony Mathis Jr., the redshirt senior from Orlando.
Pick up a 1, 2nd and 9.
He pick up a yard before Jaden Duggar is there for the stop. Mathis recruited by Gibson way back a long time ago, about 7 years ago, to come to North Carolina State. Just check that, to come to West Virginia before Gibson went to North Carolina State.
That's against the flank. Get loud. It's 3rd down.
Hurd unable to get anything going there on 2nd down, and now we'll face a 3rd and long, 3rd and a long 6 from just outside the 29-yard line. Williams-Thomas is in the backfield. Under pressure this time, and getting it away just barely was Del Rio Wilson under big-time pressure.
Pass is incomplete.
And now flag's going to come in, and he's going to get hit for intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding.
Ted
Number
Pitts,
7
our
offense.
referee,
That's a loss of down
there was
foul. It'll be
nobody
4th down. Ball be placed at the spot
in
of
the
foul.
vicinity.
And that's a 3 and out brought to you by Lafayette.
Del Rio Wilson just doing anything he can to get rid of it. Big pressure from the left side. That'll be a loss of yardage and the loss of down. So 4th and 15. Nathan Totten back in to punt. 19th in the country in punting entering the weekend, 46-yard average. This one, though, off the side of his foot. It's going to hit, take a good Thundering Herd roll, though. It's going to roll down inside the 40, down to about the 36-yard line.
1st and 10 for Louisiana at their 36.
44 yards on the punt. After that good roll, Cajuns will take over at the 36. Louisiana went 3 and out on 2 of its first 3 offensive series, but then was able to go 75 yards the last time they had their hands on the football. And they will start from decent field position at the 36. Still 5.5 minutes left before halftime. Stephen Blanco, the number 3 running back, finds a little bit of a seam. He'll power his way forward for about 6 yards. The redshirt freshman from St. Martinville, Javay Gilmore, the A-Meat product, makes the stop. Wonder if A-Meat and St. Martinville ever played each other. Should be about the same classification. Second and 4. Blanco still in the backfield. He'll get the call again, and he'll power his way forward. We'll wait on the spot. It looks like they'll give him enough for the first down. Blanco with 115 yards, playing as the number 3 guy this year. He averages 7.2 yards a pop.
And good patience right here from Blanco. Kind of waited for that hole to open up, and boy, he don't need much room. Had a nice game against McNeese earlier in the year right here at home.
Cam Smith made the tackle, but not before the first down. Beal pulls this one back. He's looking deep. He's going to launch it down the field, looking. I believe that's Kadarius Wade. That's Wade that was the target, but he was well covered by a couple of white shirts.
Coach Desimo taking a shot right there, a little play action, faking it to Blanco, letting Beal air one out. Trying for the big play down the field, just overthrew everybody.
Dateon Smith, one of the few holdovers. Less than 10 players on the Marshall sideline tonight that were here last year for the championship game. 75 new faces on the roster this year. Beal fires this one to the right side. A first down and more. Bringing it back inside, that's Raji Dennis, freshman from New Orleans. Only 3 catches all year, but seeing a lot more action tonight as the Cajuns are short Robert Williams and Shelton Sampson, 2 of the normal 3 starters.
Beal more and more comfortable, makes a quick decisions, getting rid of the ball, throws a strike, and these receivers starting to catch. They had problems with drops earlier in the season, especially in the first 2 home games. Tonight looks like they're doing a great job of bringing those in, moving the chains.
Jadarius Green McKnight makes the tackle, but not before the first down. Toss out to the right side. It's again complete. Making the first guy miss is Landon Strother. Marvay Myers is there to clean things up. Senior transfer from Middle Tennessee. Dennis was out front trying to lead the blocking. Pickup of about 5 yards. Beal now 6 out of 12 for 66 yards. Dennis comes in motion. Beal back to throw again. You put it up, and that one probably just throwing that away.
Late hit.
There is a flag, though, downfield.
Or hit him high.
In the secondary.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Actually,
number 8 defense.
that wasn't a flag. That was a photographer bib I saw down there on the ground. But the flag was in the backfield. And Marshall's going to be hit for personal foul, roughing the passer. So another key penalty on the Thundering Herd. Cajuns will have it inside the 20, back in the red zone.
Davis in the game for Perry right here. Boy, it's nice to have those 2 running backs where you can keep them fresh. Both of them can run inside the tackles and definitely has speed. Break away, take it to the house at any time. 4
penalties for the Thundering Herd, 35 yards. Cajuns have yet to been hit with a flag so far. Quick pitch on the right side. That's Davis, and he is really snowed under on that attempted sweep. Katron Evans had all of his 336 pounds out there, getting some help from Jaleel Rivera Harvey, who's the little guy there. He's only 310. So 2nd and long, pickup of only 1 yard. Cajuns do not have to snap it before the 2-minute timeout. And they will not. 2 minutes left in our first half.
2-minute timeout.
Sun Belt Conference opener for both of these teams. We're all tied at 10, but Louisiana threatening.
We all have dreams.
I want to dance. I like to build things. I want to explore.
For over 120 years, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette has made it possible for young dreams to become realities. So go ahead, dream big. We'll help you make those dreams come true.
Injured? Everyone in the Lafayette community knows. Demand Dudley DeBosier.
We're the law firm that loves helping people, especially our fellow Ragin' Cajun fans.
From Opelousas to Abbeville, from Crowley to Breaux Bridge, we're here to serve the Acadiana area.
We're available by phone or online 24/7, or come see us at our office on Camellia Boulevard.
Fighting for Ragin' Cajun fans everywhere. We got Lafayette covered. Demand Dudley DeBosier, the official injury lawyers of the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns.
From church auditoriums to corporate conference rooms and educational classrooms, pro audio and video, control systems and lighting, interactive boards and digital signages, our professional teams will lead you through the consultation and design process. Go Media is your go-to for everything AV.
Here in Acadiana, excellence is a way of life. It shapes every practice, every play, and every patient we serve. At Our Lady of Lourdes, we're proud to partner with the Ragin' Cajuns to create a new home for champions. With state-of-the-art equipment, scholarships, and clinical training, we're preparing future healthcare leaders in Acadiana and beyond. Together, we're building the stage where greatness shines. Excellence on the field, excellence in our field. Our Lady of Lourdes Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of Ragin' Cajuns Athletics.
There's only one team that matters to Louisiana Ragin' Cajun fans, and there's only one official grocery store of the Ragin' Cajuns, and that's Super One Foods. We're your official one-stop for super low prices on game day and every day. Come down and tailgate with us at Cajun Field, or if you're hosting your own party, shop Super One Foods for everything you need to celebrate on game day. Go Cajuns! Go Super One Foods!
This year in the Sun Belt, teams have to declare their injuries during the week, and when the Cajuns came out with their list, it was an extensive one. Of course, Walker Howard, the Cajuns starting quarterback to start the year, out in the first game, but since then, injuries have just mounted up. We haven't even talked about Carter Milliron there, right near the bottom. He's the deep snapper. He's also out for the year with a torn meniscus, so the Cajuns, even with the injuries, hitting the special teams. Second down, sweeping to the left side, finding some running room. That's Bill Davis. He'll get inside the 10-yard line. Looks like he may have enough for yet another first down. It will be close. We'll see where they'll put it. They're spotted at the 9, and it's going to be just about a half yard, a little less than a full yard short of the first down. Cajuns will bring in the big guy package. I don't know if they have an official name for this, but Brock Chappelle comes in as a third tight end. Fitzgerald West, a defensive tackle, is in at basically the fullback position. He leads the blocking, and a first down picked up easily by Bill Davis. You know, Fitzgerald West did that a couple of times last year. Native of Lafayette Christian, went to LSU, came back home last year, got his degree in August, and he had 16 offensive snaps last year.
It's their second of the house.
Marshall's going to take a timeout to try to preserve some clock with 1:47 left.
1:48.
And I think Coach Des ran Lunch Winfield out there at quarterback. And boy, great job there of Bill Davis, breaking tackles, moving the chains there as well.
The Sun Belt Conference and really all of college football suffered a big loss last Sunday. Longtime App State coach Sean Clark passed away after some medical issues early this month. He'd spent a lot of his adult life as part of the Mountaineer program, a two-time All-American for the Mountaineers. The offensive line, a position he loved with a passion. He was on the App State staff more than a decade, head coach the last 5 years when they won 40 games. A great football coach, but an even better person. I know I miss seeing him this year at Sun Belt Media Days. And Michael Desermo, the Cajun coach, was always a big fan of Sean Clark. Our condolences to his wife, Jonelle, and the entire Clark family. Sean Clark was only 50 years old.
Lunch Winfield in at quarterback. He's going to keep.
And he'll take it up the middle. He's going to get hit, and he'll power his way into the end zone. We just talked about Sean Clark, how much he loved offensive linemen. Well, the Cajuns follow the offensive line there, and Lunch Winfield has his first touchdown of his career.
Yeah, and you can see how excited those offensive linemen are. You can see Brian Williams right there celebrating number 64. Next guy up. And these guys are proud. They're going to get out there and compete. They know what's on the line. To be 1-0 after tonight in this conference would be huge after their start and with all of their injuries.
Jax Harrington had a big seal block. The 4-year native from Erath. Tony Sterner on to try to tack on the extra point with 1:43 left in the half. It's up and good. Cajuns take their first lead of the night. And Eric, you talked about how big this one is. You know, both of these teams have an open date next weekend. So you don't want to sit that 2 weeks after your first conference loss and just having to wait on everybody else and see what happens. You get a win tonight, either one of these teams, and it is big motivation going forward in the conference race. a loss tonight, and you almost feel like you're 2 games back since you're not getting a chance to come back next week.
Yeah, especially losing at home for the Raging Cajuns. And boy, that's a nice job by Lunch Winfield right there. 6'1", 217, redshirt sophomore. Patient, finds that hole, and he's able to get into the end zone, and the Raging Cajuns lead here at home.
Whitfield with 28 snaps this year coming into tonight. 4,657 yards and 70 touchdowns during his Lutcher career. Logan Klotz on to kick things off. Turner Bradshaw again down deep, the Virginia Tech transfer for the Thundering Herd, and this one is going to, a big mistake. No, he called for the fair catch.
Yep.
I thought he caught it and then went out of bounds, but he had called for the fair catch before he went out of bounds. That new fair catch rule sometimes a little confusing, not just for fans, also for players. Cajuns got hit with that on a road game earlier this year, but this time alertly Turner Bradshaw called for the fair catch, and his mates will have it at the 25.
Let's see how aggressive Coach Smith wants to be here. 1:43 left to play in this half. They do trail by 7, and the quarterback getting more and more comfortable. Back there is Del Rio Wilson.
Rod Smith, the offensive coordinator, 29-year coaching veteran. He also played at Glenville State with Coach Gibson. Quick toss out to the right side. Big hit from the back. Pass is complete to Floyd Lacey. He'll pick up about 7, maybe 8 yards. Jalen Clark is in there on the stop as Thundering Herd will play a little tempo here with the clock running down in the final 90 seconds. Quick out, that'll be enough for a first down. First catch of the night for Toby Payne, the outstanding tight end. Preseason first team all Sun Belt Conference, 9 catches for 107 yards this year, 2 touchdowns. He had a catch against the Cajuns last year in the championship game. One of the few returnees. Clock stopped on the out of bounds, 1:19 left, 1st and 10 at the 36. A little bit of a seam, and a big time hit by Jaden Duggar, the Mike side linebacker. Allen had a hole for just a moment. Duggar closed it down.
Textbook tackle right there. Louisiana doing a great job of tackling tonight.
Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. He'll throw over the middle. That's the tight end again, Toby Payne. He'll have enough for a first down. Clock will stop to reset the change with 52 seconds left. Jalen Clark there on the stop. The Herd doesn't need much more to get into Lork and Quinn's range. And they're now well within range as a diving catch by the tight end, Toby Payne. Still plenty of time, 42 seconds left. Marshall also still has a timeout.
Yeah, playing with pace at Louisiana on their heels, maybe a timeout, yep.
Cajuns will take one of their 3 timeouts.
This is their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds in.
This drive started at the 25. 5 plays have already picked up 40 yards. With 41 seconds left.
Yeah, now you can start thinking touchdown also if you're Coach Smith. Take a couple of shots. See if you can't tie this one up. Who gets the ball in the second half, Dan?
That would be the Thundering Herd.
Correct. Make it take it.
Thundering Herd played their first 4 games all outside of the conference play, just like the Cajuns did. Tough game to start the season off at number 5, Georgia. A lot of people are going to have trouble with the Bulldogs this year. But then one that Coach Gibson said just got away from him, that game with Missouri State. He made no bones about it. He said his team was better. They lost that one, but came back and played really well against a pretty good Eastern Kentucky team, and then beat Middle Tennessee on the road last week to even up the schedule going into conference play. 8 straight road games, or rather 8 straight conference games for the Herd the rest of the way. Del Rio Wilson with the snap. He'll roll out to the right. He's got some running room. He'll take off, and he will wisely get out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Pick up of about 3 or 4. Clock stops again on the out of bounds.
Take up a 30, 2nd and 7.
Quinn has a lot of range. In fact, coaches say that they won't hesitate at the end of the half or end of a game situation. They'll let him try it from about 60. From right here, it would be about a 50-yard field goal. Big pressure on Del Rio Wilson, and he has to get it away right when he was hit. He was looking over the middle for Tamarez.
Cajuns fans, give the defense a little help. It's third.
Tamarez had the go-ahead touchdown catch last week in that win over Middle Tennessee. Transfer from Western Carolina. So now it's 3rd and 7. And the Herd has to think about picking up the first down also here. Del Rio Wilson over the middle. He's got his man and some running room, and he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. That's Lacey with a nice catch, a nice move. Managed to find a seam. And he's brought the Thundering Herd back within 1 point with the extra point coming.
Boy, he did a nice job of creating separation, and that's a nice throw by Del Rio Wilson also. And I talked about the clean tackling and solo tackling of the Ragin' Cajuns. Missed tackle there, and Lacey's able to get into the end zone. Extra point pending, could tie this one up. It's a nice throw, low where only his guy can get it, and nobody can bring him down. Touchdown. Big play right there as they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Lacey's 2nd touchdown of the year. Leads the team with 10 receptions and 129 yards coming into tonight. And now flags fly before Quinn can
False start, 77, offense.
put a leg into it. They'll back it up 5 yards. Gavin McGorry, the deep snapper, and the punter Nathan Totten also handles holding duties. Quinn played Gaelic football back in his hometown in Ireland. If you've never seen Gaelic football, it's like a combination of soccer and rugby and violence.
I have never seen it. Oh, he's got a leg.
Kick is up and well up the hill.
We're tied at 17.
23 seconds left in the first half as Marshall answers the Thundering Herd with its own touchdown drive. 75 yards in only 8 plays. Only took a minute 20. And Del Rio Wilson with his 7th touchdown pass of the year. His 5th in the last 2 games.
Kicking off for Marshall will be number 90, Lorcan Quinn.
And we'll see how the Cajuns play it. Very likely they'll be starting from the 25. Quinn's put everything so far tonight out of the end zone. And Marshall will get the football to start the second half. This one's high, halfway down, and the Cajuns will bring it back. And a carry up to about the 12-yard line.
1st and 10 for Louisiana at their 14-yard line.
That was Coleman Carter. He's pressed into return duties. Oh, no, wasn't Carter. That was Jacorian Norris, the redshirt freshman from Pineville. Robert Williams, the normal kickoff return guy, is out injured. Cajuns were looking around for somebody to take over kick return duties this week, and Norris was one of the guys that stepped up, redshirted last year. 19 seconds left. Cajuns will probably just get into halftime. Carry by Perry up over the 15.
Number 3, Silent Perry.
That should do it for the first half. Back and forth first half, an exciting first half. But we haven't decided anything. The teams will go to the locker room, all tied up at 17 in this Sun Belt Conference opener. Halftime activities when we return.
Alvin James comes.
Welcome back to Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. Halftime in this Sun Belt Conference opener as Louisiana and Marshall all tied up at 17. I'm Dan McDonald, along with my broadcast partner Eric Mouton. And Eric, both teams getting field goals in the first quarter, but both teams also got their offense untracked in the second period.
Yeah, both teams playing like it's a must-win. I think there's a little more pressure on Louisiana because they are at home. But both of these quarterbacks who did not start the season as starters doing a nice job of orchestrating their offense, moving their teams down the field, and putting some points on the board.
Louisiana got the running game going in the second quarter, scored a couple of touchdowns. Bill Davis and Lunch Whitfield taking that one in. But Marshall coming right back. Big first half for Carlos Del Rio Wilson, picking up right where he left off last week when he had 4 touchdown passes. He gets the 5th of the last 2 weeks, and that score came in the last minute of play, and that brought Marshall back to a halftime 17-17, and the Thundering Herd gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and I think if Louisiana continue to tackle in the open field, defense continue to pressure the quarterback, I think they'll have a good chance to win, as Beal is really comfortable at quarterback for Louisiana.
Halftime activities return. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with Coach Michael Desormeaux.
2003. Let's sit back and relax.
Welcome back to Halftime Activities with Raging Cajun Football, and happy to have Coach Michael Desormeaux with us. And Coach, I know right now your non-conference schedule is not what you really hoped it would be, but with a break here and there, your team could easily be 3-1 right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the way football goes, and what we kind of talk about as a team is, so what now what? I mean we didn't make the plays we needed to make in those 2 games to come out on top. The issues are things that we've addressed from day one and continue to work through, but really when you get to the last 8 games, when you're talking about conference, those are the ones that matter. And, we got to get them fixed now because these are the ones that, this is what we're playing for. This is what this is what you start your season out to do. So, you got to flip the page and you got to get the conference play. You talk about getting things fixed, and most of the issues you've had, aside from some key injuries, are things that you can easily get fixed. Well, absolutely. I think in the throw game we've done a much better job of of getting that stuff settled in a little bit. The penalties are things that just comes down to discipline. No one want to fold them, no one want to let go. Making sure that we're dialed into whatever it is, snap counter alignment, whatever it may be. Defense, just tackling better, right? Running your feet, running through contact, wrapping up, eyes up, all that stuff. So it's all stuff that's fixable that we've shown, and at times we've done really well, just not consistently enough. And that's what you're looking for, is to be able to consistently perform and consistently, execute the way you need to. And you've had a couple of key injuries. Your offensive line, again, just decimated going into conference play. Yeah, it's certainly not where you want to be. Unfortunately, it kind of feels like we've had a pretty tough go with the injuries here the last few years. But someone always steps up, and they have to. It's no different here. We're gonna have to shuffle the deck a little bit. And find the guys that are ready to go, that can maybe move around, maybe not be in their optimal position, but still give us a chance to go out there and go scratch out a win. We'll talk about the Sun Belt Conference when we return. You're watching Cajun Football on ESPN+.
Welcome back once again to Raging Cajun Football. Halftime with Coach Desormeaux. And, Coach, you've always said that the one thing that you want this team to do is raise a trophy at the end of the year. Yep. Well, that starts right now because you can sort of start over with the start of conference play.
Well, I mean, that's the trophy that you're playing for. You know what I mean? And, you know, non-conference is supposed to kind of tune you up and get you ready for it. You know, and you got things that, you know, the issues are the issues, whether you win or you lose, that you got to get fixed. And that's what we've tried to do is pull out the things that we need to get fixed and work on those things with some urgency. The things you're doing well, you try to build confidence and build off of. But, you know, this is where it all matters, you know, when you get to conference play. And, you know, that's the goal at the end of the year.
You've had a chance now to look at some of the results in the conference through the first week. Has anything surprised you? Any team surprised you? Except for, obviously, the level of conference play is still very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into preseason every year, I think it's hard to ever predict what's going to happen just because there's so many new faces and really at every piece is fit. Do they perform the way you think they're going to perform, all that stuff. So I think preseason, I think it's harder now than ever to know or predict what's going to happen. But no, I mean, I think, again, there's some really good football being played in the conference.
And you got one of them this week, Marshall, a very different looking team than that team that you played last December.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, still a lot of really good football players. They've done a great job flipping the roster, you know, with what they lost, being able to add the pieces that they have. And, you know, they're getting better every week. And, you know, Coach Gibson, those guys have done a really good job of getting the pieces in place. And, you know, they provide a lot of issues for you, you know, on offense and defense with all the things they do.
Well, Coach, good luck to you going forward in conference play. Good luck in the second half tonight. And we'll be back with all that second half action when we return. You're watching Sunbelt Football on ESPN+.
Welcome back to Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium on this Sun Belt opening weekend for both Marshall and Louisiana. We're all tied at the half, 17-17, and both teams sort of got things untracked offensively in the second quarter. Eric, the Cajuns had pretty much evened things up offensively until Marshall's late drive, but things got started. A 53-yard field goal by Lorcan Quinn. But then a mistake on special teams gave the Cajuns a chance to even things up. And Sterner towed through a 26-yard field goal, and that brought us to the second period, all tied at 3. Some bull running by Michael Allen. A 9-yard touchdown run gave the Thundering Herd the lead once again, but then Zylan Perry answered just a couple of minutes later, a 19-yard run that tied it up once again. Louisiana took the lead after a 64-yard drive. Winfield carried things in with just a minute 43 left, but a nice Thundering Herd drive and a nice completion to Lacey. 32 yards for the touchdown just before the end of the period. And that brought us to a 17-17 stalemate. I'm Dan McDonald, along with Eric Mouton. And Eric, the stats pretty much reflect what happened in the first half.
Yeah, definitely that big play, the fumble there on special teams. You know, special teams and turnovers always come into play at some point. Right now, Louisiana winning that battle. And that was after 2 3-and-outs for the Louisiana offense. So Marshall would have had all the momentum with the ball back. But that big turnover right there, they're able to put some points on the board. Very entertaining, very good first half. Let's see who can pull this one out here in their first conference game.
Logan Klotz will be kicking it away. Xavion Turner-Bradshaw averages right at 20 a return, the product of Virginia Tech transfer. He'll be bringing it out, gets hit hard right at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Herd will start things off here in the third quarter. It's been an interesting day already in the Sun Belt. Colin Jacob once again in there on a tackle. He's been all over the place, seeing really his first action of the year with the Cajuns secondary, missing some people with that rash of injuries. Solid first half for Carlos Del Rio Wilson. 14 out of 18, 136 yards and the 1 touchdown. And finding some running room out over the 30 and picking up what appears to be a first down on the quarterback keeper. Del Rio Wilson was the leading rusher for the Herd in the first half with 30 yards. Trey Tomlinson finally there to make the stop, but not before a quick first down on the first play. And again finding some running room and off to the races. That's Allen, and he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. There are no flags, 69 yards. And a quick strike by the Thundering Herd as they reclaim the lead. Allen's second touchdown of the night and his longest run of the year.
Breakaway speed and almost shuts it down right there with about 20 yards to go and coasts into the end zone. 5'11", 206, redshirt junior takes it to the house. They score at the end of the half, which was a big play for them offensively. And man, doesn't take them long right here to put more points on the board.
Make it, take it gives the Herd the lead as Lorian Quinn on to attempt the extra point. Only 40 seconds into the second half, and Marshall with a 24-17 lead. The Herd strikes quickly. Cajuns will get the football when we come back. 14:20 left in the third period. It's the Herd by 7.
Welcome back to Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. I'm Ben Schaefer. On the sideline today, I had a chance to talk to Cajuns head coach Michael Desormeaux at halftime, and he said he's very happy with how they've been able to move the ball offensively, specifically in the run game. They just need to keep that going here in the second half and create those big plays and opportunities. Talking to Marshall head coach Tony Gibson, he said the offense definitely found rhythm to end that first half, and you can see it now with the make it, take it touchdown to take the lead. He said they just have to clean up the penalties. That's been their Achilles heel in the first half. Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben. Lorcan Quinn with the kickoff. That's going to again go into the end zone. Cajuns end zone. Cajuns will take over 1st and 10 at the 25. Eric, the Cajuns have played well defensively in the second half in just about every game this year. They've only given up 30 points in the second half in their first 4 games. That's about 7.5 a game, but they give up a quick 7 here.
Yeah, the big play right there takes it all the way to the house to get the lead. Let's see if Beal can continue to orchestrate this offense. He's made some nice plays, made some nice throws, good decisions, quick decisions, and he's also had some good runs and scrambles with his legs, keeping plays alive. This is a big drive right here, I think, in this game.
Officially 68 yards on the touchdown by Michael Allen. First play handoff, held up at the line of scrimmage, but pushing forward and picking up about 3, maybe close to 4 yards by Zylan Perry. Perry only 5 carries in the first half, 29 yards. Did have the touchdown on that 19-yard run. Rivera Harvey, the redshirt senior defensive tackle, makes the stop. Pickup of 3. Beal with a nice pocket, now breaks down. He'll take it himself and slide down. They'll say he started his slide about the 32-yard line, so that's going to leave Louisiana about 3 yards short of the first down. Cam Smith was the guy who flew over the top as Beal hit the slide.
Yeah, I love that decision by Beal. Don't force anything. He has a pocket for a little while, good coverage, nobody open. He sees some turf in front of him, gain as much as you can, get down, and a 3rd and manageable here right now because of Beal.
Tight ends on both sides. As Beal will roll right under some pressure, he has to get it away. And making the catch is Brock Chappell, the junior transfer from Furman. There is a flag back in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
And for the second time tonight, the Thundering Herd's going to get hit with roughing the passer.
The ball was gone. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the catch. First down.
And that's a big one because that is tacked on to the play.
Yeah, shoves him to the ground after the throw, but that's a big play right there from Beal. If he wouldn't have got the penalty, still creates something on the move and has enough on that one to get it to his tight end for a first down, then add 15.
Javay Gilmore hit with the penalty. Chappell with his 5th catch of the year. Cajuns already into Thundering Herd territory thanks to the penalty. Boy, spun around right at the line of scrimmage is Perry as Jaleel Rivera Harvey got a big arm around him. Rivera Harvey, the defensive tackles, started out his career at Marshall back in 2023, ended up at Western Kentucky for a year. Came back to the Thundering Herd this year. He actually began his collegiate career at Arizona State back in 2022. Boy, hit again right at the line of scrimmage is Perry. He may have lost a yard. Cajuns are going to have about a 3rd and 10. Javay Gilmore again in there, making up for that personal foul penalty just a couple plays ago, sets up the 3rd and long.
Yeah, and coach, the defensive coordinator, Coach Shannon Morris, just daring Louisiana to throw the ball, and Coach Des, wants to establish that run and keep that running game going, keep it moving, but now a definite throwing down here, 3rd and 10.
At the 47-yard line. Perry comes in motion. That one's going to be tipped up and picked off. Headed back the other way. And
He's
getting
in.
it into the end zone is Paul Hudson III, the redshirt junior from Norfolk, Virginia. Transfer from Austin Peay. Got a big paw on it, picked it out of midair. And just like that, a 2-score lead for the Thundering Herd. First turnover of the game for Louisiana.
What a play. Bats it in the air. He's 6'1", 260, bats it in the air, and he knows what to do with it. The big fella trying to find the end zone, and boy, those defensive linemen know how to celebrate, and he's able to get into the end zone, a pick six, tipping the ball to himself. What an athletic play, and a huge play for Marshall here on the road.
Quinn on to tack on the extra point. 2 touchdowns for Marshall in just less than 4 minutes. 11-11 left here in the third period. The Thundering Herd with some thunder and lightning. They lead it 31-17. The Sun Belt Conference preseason poll, with this being the opening game in conference for both teams. You know, I'm not so sure that preseason polls mean a whole lot anymore, because in this day and age of college football, nobody knows really how good anybody's going to be. Marshall picked 6th in the East. Cajuns picked to win the West, a narrow margin over Texas State. But ULM down at the bottom of the West, they were picked 7th and last in the league, but they got a big win today over Arkansas State. They're now 3-1, break up the Warhawks. Quinn again puts a foot into it, and this will go to the back of the end zone. Cajuns will take over once again at the 25-yard line. After their first turnover of the night, results in a quick 6. Now Louisiana will be trying to regroup here. Both teams with 1 turnover, and the other team has converted it into points. Louisiana got its first field goal. Its field goal in the first quarter off a fumbled punt. And the Herd just a moment ago with the interception and return for a touchdown. Bill Davis, the back behind Daniel Beal. He'll get the call, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Thundering Herd defense really selling out against the run here so far here in this quarter. Kerrion Martin right there in the hole.
Yeah, 6 and 7 guys in the box almost every first down. You want to gain a few yards on that first down to make it a little more manageable, get your quarterback comfortable. But he's going to have to make some big plays here. I'm not saying it's a must score right here, but they've got to get some of this momentum back.
2nd and 10. Beal back to throw. He's going to throw over the middle, and that one's going to be picked off. Raji Dennis turned in. Boogie Trotter didn't move, and he had it hit right in his hands. First interception of the year for Trotter. 2nd interception this quarter.
1st and 10, Marshall.
And once again, the Thundering Herd in great position to add to what is already a 2-score lead.
A little play action, maybe forced to throw that one a little bit early, but had a big white jersey in his face and just throws an inaccurate throw, and that is picked off, and Marshall has all of the momentum right now.
At the Cajun 41. Del Rio Wilson calls for it. He'll hand it off. This is Allen, who pick up about 4. Jaden Duggar is there to make the stop. Thundering Herd will again play some pace here. Cajun defense has already been on the field a lot here in the second half. Design draw for the quarterback. And Del Rio Wilson's going to push forward, and he's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to have it. Yes, they'll move the chains. Lester Jones seeing his first action of the season at outside linebacker. Redshirt sophomore from Liberty Magnet in Baton Rouge makes the tackle. Quickly on first down. Lacey on the other end of the reception on the quick out. Trey Tomlinson there to make the tackle. Pickup of 3 on first down. Del Rio calls for it quickly. He'll flip it out, and another first down on another quick completion. Pass is going to Adrian Norton. Again, Colin Jacob, the junior from Lauraville, seeing his first extensive action of the year. 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll again go to Allen. Kadarius Miller and Jake St. Andre haven't called either one of their names very much tonight. Miller the nose guard, St. Andre the weak side linebacker. Pickup of about 2, 2nd and 8. Quick out. That's going to be complete again in the flat to Allen. Pickup of about 4 yards. It'll be a 3rd and a long 4. Trey Tomlinson, who's now playing the star linebacker spot, there to make the tackle, but not before another 4-yard pickup.
So many throws are not downfield, just left and right, quick releases from Del Rio Wilson. Then when he fakes that, gets everybody's eyes moving one way, he's big and strong enough to make plays with his legs.
He keeps it now under some pressure, but now he'll carry forward. It's going to get hit, maybe a gain of about 1 yard. Del Rio Wilson now 17 out of 21, throwing for 151 yards. That's 81% after he completed 79% of his passes last week. 4th down, and Quinn will come on to try to add to this lead. Nathan Totten will put it down right outside the 20. It'll either be 30 or 31 yards officially. Kick is up, And it is good. Quinn has his second field goal of the night. And he adds to the Thundering Herd lead. 6:55 left in period number 3. It's Marshall 34, Louisiana 17. .655 left in period number 3. 17 unanswered points for Marshall to take a 34-17 lead. Let's go down to the sidelines and Ben Schaefer. Ben?
Thanks, Dan. Obviously a frustrating start for the Cajuns offense, but I will tell you what, Walker Howard is not letting them get down themselves. Even though he may not be in the game, Walker Howard has been around the offense since warm-ups today, and I just saw him marching up and down the bench telling these guys, hey, there's plenty of time left in this one. We are still in the fight. Even though he may not be playing in this game, his leadership qualities are still readily available on that sideline. Dan, Eric, back to you guys.
Thanks, Ben. Quinn again through the end zone with the kickoff. Cajuns will start at their own 25-yard line. And it has been a nightmare here in the third quarter so far. Couple of interceptions, and Marshall has converted their 3 possessions into 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah, you got to give a small win to the defense right there after that pick, not allowing them into the end zone, forcing only a field goal. Now Lunch into the game. Let's see if he can get something going, maybe a spark off the bench at quarterback.
Zylan Perry gets the call. He'll pick up about 2.
And on goes the number 3, Zylan Perry.
It's Lunch Winfield, the redshirt sophomore from Lutcher, coming in to try to bring a spark at the quarterback spot. Jamal Weiss, backup nose tackle, and Gilmore combining on the tackle, pickup of just a little bit under 3 yards.
And not a ton of yards inside the tackles tonight as they are stacking it, bringing those linebackers up, daring them to throw the football.
Winfield will roll out. He'll keep it himself. He's going to pick up a first down and more.
Oh my.
He's got some running room. He's over midfield. Finally knocked down just outside the 40-yard line. And that is the element that he brings to this offense, the product of Lutcher.
Yeah, great decision, great play call. Fake it inside right there, roll out your quarterback. Doesn't see anything he likes, turns it up the field. Great speed, diving for extra yards, trying to get this crowd back in it as well here at home on a Saturday night.
30-yard pickup for the redshirt sophomore. And a 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Perry, almost found the seam. Shoestring tackle by Marvay Myers, or else Perry might still be running.
Yeah, he might have taken that one to the house for sure. Bunched up in that middle. If you can break it or find a hole and get through that first line, there is a lot of green turf in front of him, and that shoestring tackle may have saved the touchdown.
Five on 1st down. Jensen, the tight end, switches from the left side to the right. This will be Davis. And he'll be down to about the 35-yard line. They'll spot him actually at the 36. And a 3rd and 3 coming up now as Jamal Weiss again is there on the tackle.
Trying to run outside. Weiss from his nose tackle spot gets all the way out there and makes a nice tackle, but it is 3rd and manageable here for Louisiana. Pistol formation, Davis behind Lunch.
He'll roll out again. He'll run it again. Same play. He'll pick up another 1st down. Gilmore, product of Amite. Now, I know that Amite and Lutcher have played each other in the past, so that's an Amite guy and a Lutcher guy meeting up over there. 2 powerhouse programs in South Louisiana high school football.
3 new defensive linemen coming in as Coach Dez and this Louisiana offense has Marshall on their heels here. Nice drive so far. Got to put points on the board right here.
From the 28, picking his way. This is Perry again. He'll be inside the 20. He'll be close to another 1st down.
Pickup of 9, 2nd and 1.
Tyus Martin, transfer from Jackson State, began his career at Colorado 5 years ago. In 2021, played 15 games at Jackson State the last 2 years. Pickup of 9 for Perry. He'll carry it again. He'll be inside the 18 down to about the 17. That'll be enough for another 1st down. Jaleel Rivera Harvey makes the tackle. Winfield came away from that a little bit gimpy. Louisiana does not need any more injuries at the quarterback position. The aforementioned Walker Howard, of course, injured in the 1st game after he was anticipating to be this year's starter. And that brought in Daniel Beal. Winfield back to throw. Doesn't do that very much. He'll throw it in the end zone. Again, a lot of contact. No flag flying. Is intended for Brock Chappelle. Darrell Sweeting was step for step with him.
Yeah, does a nice job, not fooled by that play action, stays on his assignment right there, step for step, forces the incompletion.
Actually pretty good defense when you see it once again from ground level.
Yep, I agree.
So 2nd and 10, Winfield calls for it. And hit again right at the line of scrimmage. Short gain. It's going to bring up another 3rd and long as Davis only pick up maybe 1. Jalen Parker, one of the transfers from North Carolina State who followed Coach Tony Gibson. They'll spot it at the 18. Officially no gain. So now a 3rd and long. A 3-score game. Louisiana really needs something on this drive. Winfield back to throw. Now he'll take it himself. Now he'll throw it over the middle and threw it behind the tight end. He had Chappelle open. Cam Smith made a quick recovery, and the pass was a little bit behind him.
Sure did. Sprinted right there. Gets that left hand. He had two hands on the ball. He just punches it out. Nice play right there from Cam Smith.
Tony Sterner will be on to try to tack on a field goal here. It'll be from the 26, call it 36 yards. He's got one already tonight. As his kick is up, got plenty of distance, and the kick is good. 132 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Sterner's second field goal of the night keeps it a 2-score game. 3 Sun Belt Conference games being played today. This one still going here. James Madison winning earlier today. They've been really impressive over the last couple of weeks. They handled Georgia Southern pretty easily. What about ULM? They defeated Arkansas State 28-16 in the other 2 conference games today. The other games, non-conference. South Alabama falls at North Texas. Old Dominion with another big win. They defeat Liberty at home today. Southern Miss rolls up 42 against Jacksonville State. A couple games still underway. Both of them non-conference games.
Number 15 for Marshall.
Boise State leading App State 33-14. That being played in Boise. They just finished the third quarter there. That's the only other game still in action. There's a lot of teams playing their final non-conference game today. Both these two teams, Louisiana and Marshall, have finished their non-conference slate. They'll play Sun Belt the rest of the way. Logan Klotz with the kickoff, and it's going to go out of bounds. So that's going to give Marshall good field position as they will
kick out of bounds.
Have possession once again.
On the 35-yard line.
The Thundering Herd has scored on each of its 3 possessions here in the third quarter. Actually, one wasn't even a possession. It was an interception return. Louisiana got a field goal back on the last drive. 57 yards, 11 plays. Took 5 minutes before Sterner's field goal. And now it will be the Herd once again from the 35. And Carlos Del Rio Wilson has been very effective so far. Gets this one out, and that's going to pick up another first down and more out almost to midfield. Lacey's got the reception, picks up 15. Colin Jacob is again in there on the tackle. But one play, and the Herd is already at midfield again. Del Rio Wilson now 18 out of 22 for 166 yards. And he'll take it himself on a quarterback keeper this time. And he'll be close to another first down. They'll spot him just short of the first down. It will be 2nd and 1 at the 41, and Del Rio Wilson might have gotten the worst of that exchange. He's flexing that right leg a little bit, but not coming out. 2nd and 1. Allen with the handoff. He'll have the first down. Just met pickup of only about 1, maybe 2 yards inside the 40. But it will be enough for first down. Fitzgerald West, the junior from Lafayette, is there to make the stop.
And that'll be the last play of the third quarter.
A big third period for the visiting Thundering Herd. They score 17 unanswered points before the Cajun field goal. 15 minutes left. Marshall leads it 34-20. Here's a look at the Sun Belt standings. This is as it stands right now. James Madison getting its first win in conference play today. They improved to 3-1 overall. ULM getting a win today. They improved to 1-0. They're also 3-1 in the other two conference games being played today. Big slate next weekend in the conference, but it doesn't involve either one of these two teams. Louisiana and Marshall both with open dates next Saturday. 1st and 10 for the Thundering Herd. This is again Lacey. Nope, check that. Antoine Roberts, 44, not number 4. Product of Nashville. He'll pick up 6. It will be 2nd and 4. Payne comes in motion. And off again to Roberts. He's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. He may pick up 1. And an injury on the play. Ashley Williams is there to make the stop. Jalen Slappy, the outstanding offensive guard from Columbus. He's had 21 career starts, 17 straight. But he is down on the turf. Head athletic trainer Ben Adams is out there along with a couple of the team doctors.
Media.
While they tend to him, we'll take a break. 14-17 left here in period number 4. Thundering Herd leads it by 14. You can get all of your ESPN college football now all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock it with the ESPN Unlimited plan, or you can log in with your TV provider. Just under a minute into the final quarter. And a big 3rd down now for the Thundering Herd. 3rd and 3. As they try to keep this drive going. Up by 14. Quick pitch out, and that's not going anywhere. Tried to go with the option play. And the Cajuns had that one sniffed out. Michael Allen took the pitch, but Courtline Flowers was out there to meet him. And it'll be a loss back to the 35, maybe the 36. No, it'll be the 35-yard line. So that'll bring on Lorcan Quinn. He's already got 2 field goals tonight. winning his first one from 53 yards. And this one's also going to be a 53-yarder, which would tie his career long that he had earlier this evening. Plenty of leg on this one, and he's missed that one left. Had plenty of distance, but missed it to the left.
There's your stop right there. Stop you needed. No points. The defense gets off the field. Now the offense has got to produce. Let's see if Winfield comes back in, who provided a spark. It looks like he is leading the huddle.
Louisiana will take it over at the line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. This game was tied 17-17 at halftime. But the Thundering Herd scored 17 points in only 8 minutes. Winfield finds a seam. He's got some running room. He's over the 50 at the 40. He's going to be brought down inside the 30-yard line, all the way down to about the 27. And he has provided a spark to this Cajun offense. Dateon Smith finally ran him down at the 27.
Big time play, little zone read right there. Mama calls him lunch. I'm going to call him lunch. That's a big play for Louisiana, and they're knocking on the door.
$83 yards already in the ball game for Winfield. He'll hand it off to Davis. He is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Don't think he got much out of that one. Probably right at the 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. Jabril Al-Amin, the transfer from Jacksonville State, made the tackle. 2nd and 10. Davis again in the backfield. 2 wide receivers right. Coming in motion is Robertson. Charles Robertson's been quiet tonight. This is Davis. Had a little bit of a seam for a minute, but then hit as he went over the 25 down to about the 24-yard line. Jaleel Rivera Harvey stops him for a gain of 3. It's going to be 3rd and 7. And now Louisiana's turn for a big 3rd down. And I would think with just over 11 minutes left, this is probably 4-down territory. Winfield again, stutter step. He'll carry forward. He's over the 15. He's got another 1st down. Paul Hudson III makes the stop. But Winfield channeling his inner Brian Mitchell. Former Cajun great, made a career doing that. $93 yards now for Winfield on only 6 carries. From the 14. Winfield back to throw. He's going to lob it in the end zone. Overthrown, intended for Dale Martin. Josh Pierre Lewis was stride for stride with him. So 2nd and 10 from the 14. Dale Martin, product of Maurice, making his 1st start tonight. Had his 1st reception of his career earlier this evening. Johnson in motion. Winfield will roll to the near side, and he'll throw the lob again. Flags are going to come in this time. And Winfield comes up limping a little more.
Pass interference, defense, number 3. That ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Marvay Myers gets hit for the pass interference. And a smile on Ted Pitts, our referee's face. Gave the call to the other side of the stadium, and why not? That's the new superstructure over there that really looks like it could have a press box. This side still a work in progress. First and goal for the Cajuns at the 2 with the foul occurring in the end zone. Winfield will call his own number, and he's going to get struggle, pushing, he gets into the end zone. Lunch Winfield with his second touchdown run here in the second half. And just like that, Louisiana back to a one-score game, pending the extra point. Timeout on the field, and
down.
It's not good news for the Cajuns as Brian Williams is sitting in the end zone. The redshirt junior from Lake Charles. 29 games, 8 starts in his career. Louisiana's already down 3 offensive linemen.
Yeah, I think they rolled that right ankle or leg there.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 64, Brian Williams.
One of the team physicians, Dr. Amanda Phillips, was quickly out there to check on Williams. Louisiana already without the services of another starter, George Jackson, and a couple other key backups that would normally see some action. Sterner on to tag through the extra point. 10 minutes, 16 seconds left in this one. We've still got a ball game as Louisiana responds. Marshall still leading this one by a touchdown. You know, Eric, I'm not much of a breakfast guy, but I do enjoy lunch when I have the opportunity. I think right now Cajun fans are enjoying lunch of their own. 95 yards on just 7 carries, 2 touchdowns for Lunch Winfield. He has ignited Louisiana's offense, rallying back from a 17-point deficit. Now within 7 and still lots of time left, 10 minutes and 16 seconds. As Logan Klotz will put a foot into it. Turner Bradshaw is the deep guy. He'll handle it at the 1. He'll go on the left side. He's got a little running room. He's got the corner. He's at the 30, punched out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Logan Klotz, the kicker, made the hit. And just a little jawing on the Cajun sideline over there.
First conference game, it's bound to happen.
And they're just checking on maybe lunch plans.
Doubtful. So they went over there and got him out of there in a hurry. And boy, no quit in this Louisiana football team. They were down. I mean, the third quarter could not have started worse for them, but the defense got some stops. And the coming out party for Lunch Winfield tonight, mostly with his legs, has Louisiana 1 score down.
At the 34, Del Rio Wilson will keep it himself. And he'll have another good gain as he's going out over the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Pickup of about 9. Once again, Colin Jacob is in on the tackle. 2nd and short. Big hole this time for Michael Allen, and he'll pick up the first down. Marshall's offense has been very effective here throughout the second half. Of course, they have also taken advantage of the 2 turnovers. Brent Gordon Jr. is there to make the tackle. But a first down at the 48. Del Rio Wilson will flip it over the middle and just a little too far out in front of the intended receiver. That was Tamarez. Gordon was with him in the secondary.
Eligible player downfield, number 67 offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
A man downfield for the Thundering Herd. That will back things up 5 yards. But it will again be a first down. 8th penalty in the ball game for 72 yards for Marshall. Cajuns have not been penalized in the game so far. So 1st and 15. Del Rio Wilson, he'll keep it himself. Stutter step. Be brought down after a gain of just about 3 yards. Once again, Colin Jacob, with a redshirt junior safety from Lauraville, hadn't played hardly at all this year. He had 5 tackles for the whole season. But he's been involved on a bunch of hits. Seeing his first action with the Cajuns missing a couple of secondary keys. 2nd and 12. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. Big pressure this time. Evades the sack. And is able to scramble up and actually pick up a couple of yards. Jake St. Andre is the guy that finally ran him down. Product of Bossier City. Cameron Whitfield had a clean shot at the sack, but Del Rio Wilson's a big, strong guy. 6'2", 219. Picks up the penalty yardage back. 3rd and 10 from the 48. And the fans get on their feet. It's a big 3rd down for both teams. Pressure coming, and Del Rio Wilson this time wasn't able to avoid the pressure. Jake St. Andre picks up his 2nd tackle for loss of the season. And it comes at a big time for the Louisiana defense.
Finally got to him, and they finally got him on the ground. And the defense once again forces the punt. They will get the ball back with plenty of time here and dialing up some pressure. Coach Salgado, you never know where they're coming from, but here they come. Some come late, and they get to him.
Nathan Totten will punt it away, and this is a low-line driver. It's going to hit and take a bounce, and handling it back at the 15. And probably a good thing that it was handled by Landon Strother, or else that ball would have probably rolled down near the goal line. 7:01 left in this one. Herd still up by 7. Thundering Herd will have next weekend off. They'll have the open date. But after that, they'll play 3 of their next 4 at home. But I tell you what, none of those are going to be easy. They've got a really improved Old Dominion team next up. They'll also host Texas State and James Madison, sandwiched around a Thursday night ESPN game at Coastal Carolina. 1st and 10 for Louisiana. Winfield is still at the quarterback spot. Perry is the running back, and Winfield will be back to throw. And he'll throw it out on the left side, incomplete, intended for Strother. Winfield 0 for 4 now throwing the football, but he's made his much bigger impact on the ground. 95 yards rushing on only 7 carries, including the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and both quarterbacks been effective on the ground as the defense paying so much attention to the running backs in this game that a lot of misdirection allows those quarterbacks to gain some big yards.
Del Rio Wilson would be the leading rusher for Marshall had Michael Allen not broken that 68-yard touchdown run. Bouncing it outside and being wrapped up is going to be Zylan Perry, and that's going to be a big loss on this one. The Herd stretched it out.
And
Kerryon Martin.
And kept him in bounds, too. Clock's rolling.
So 3rd and long. Cajuns need to get to the 29 to pick up a first down. And with just over 6 minutes left, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to have. Winfield back to throw. He's got time. Pocket now breaks down. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it is caught at the 30. Yes, it is. Charles Robertson with his first catch of the night. The redshirt junior from Zachary. Had only 2 catches all year coming into tonight, but this one, a big one out to the 31-yard line for a first down.
Monster play, and you can see what Lunch saw right there as Robinson across the middle comes open, and a nice throw and catch right there to move the chains.
First completion for Winfield. He'll run it himself on the left side. He'll be over the 35. Actually, they'll put him down at about the 34-yard line, gain of 3. Clock running with just over 5 minutes, and you see Winfield coming up, limping a little bit once again. By the time Louisiana snaps this one, we'll have less than 5 minutes left in this one. Perry in the backfield along with Winfield. Perry will get the call. He's over the 35, breaks it a little bit out to near the 40-yard line. And he'll be about maybe a yard short of the first down, and he'll be out of bounds. Jalen Parker's there to make the stop. Parker will have to leave the game as his helmet came off.
Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Pickup of 6 for Perry. 3rd and 1 at the 40-yard line.
The ruling on the field is the runner was short of the line to gain. The previous play is under further review.
Our replay official is buzzed down. Colin Backer's the replay official tonight. Must have seen something on the replay. They'll take a look at it. And Ted Pitts, our referee, will.
Please reset the game clock to 4:40. 4:40. Thank you.
We'll head over to the replay headset. Here we'll get a look at it. Perry and Parker collided right about the 40-yard line. And I don't know from that angle if you'll be able to tell if anything should be changed. Again, all calls and all plays in college football, replay officials are taking a look at them. And this one was buzzed down from the replay booth. Here's a little bit of a different angle. see the hit right there, and needed to get to the 41 for a first down, and just from those two angles, I think he is still short.
I agree. Looked like he was knocked out at the 40. He didn't run out of bounds, though. He delivered a lick, knocked that helmet off. Taking a while to take a look at this one.
Louisiana will also have an open date next weekend. They'll have 2 weeks before their next conference
After
contest.
further review, the runner was short of the line to gain. Personal foul, targeting. Number 7, defense.
Oh,
that
they also looked at a targeting.
Into the run. Automatic
And
first down.
Jalen Parker's going to get hit for targeting on the play.
And ejected.
The redshirt senior from Macon, Georgia, transfer from North Carolina State. First year in the Thundering Herd program, and you can see how upset he is.
What a huge call.
And not only is he ejected, but the Cajuns will get the 15-yard advancement. And then we'll get a chance to look at it. And yeah, that's a crown of the helmet. And that's one of the 2 targetings you can get. You can get the crown of the helmet or the defenseless player. Winfield's going to lob it up. He's got a man. He's got a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness, what a throw. Wow.
Charles Robertson ran under the fly ball and made the catch right at the center field wall. And Louisiana is an extra point away from tying this one up. And what a turn of events in the last 2 plays.
Have a night. Lunch. Winfield off the bench trying to provide a spark here in the second half, and that's absolutely what he did. Little play action to Davis. Time to throw, hit as he throws, and an absolute strike in stride to Robinson. Touchdown, and it's a 1-point game.
Robertson's first touchdown of his career. He only had 2 catches the entire season coming into the night. Tony Sterner toes through the extra point. And 4:27 left in this one, and we're all tied.
Dan, we played a lot of football tonight in this first Sun Belt Conference game for both teams, and huge games for both teams, and we've decided nothing. What a game.
34-34. Marshall looked like they had things under complete control. They scored the first 17 points of the second half to take a 17-point lead. But Louisiana's now responded with 17 in a row of their own.
And teams normally take on the personalities of their head coach, and I tell you what, there's no quit in Michael Desimo. When he was a player or as a coach, he's going to keep grinding. He's going to keep doing what he does and continue to try to run the ball, and then makes the call. Lunch Winfield in relief of Beal, who was not playing terrible, but man, Lunch Winfield with his legs, and then that big throw right there, an absolute perfect throw to Robinson for the touchdown to tie this thing up.
But still plenty time left with the Thundering Herd as Logan Klotz gets set to kick it away. Turner Bradshaw again is the deep guy. This one's going to go down to, again, right at the 1-yard line. And here comes Turner Bradshaw. He's going to go on the left side, right side again. Again, he's going to find some running room, and he is really going to get hit hard going out of bounds.
Bradshaw knocked out of bounds by number 40, Logan Klotz.
And some cooler heads prevailing over there. Tell you what, give Sammy Etienne some credit, the freshman defensive back. He was over there making sure that there wasn't any extracurricular activities, because he knows that's the one thing the Thundering Herd don't need right here. They don't need any big personal foul penalties. Cajuns also had people on the sideline trying to pull people back. 1st and 10 from the 29. And a big hole for Allen. He's out over the 40. He's out to the 45-yard line. Big pickup on first down before Cortland Flowers is there to make the stop.
Yeah, he's got a burst and a second gear right there. Doesn't need much of a hole either. It's a big play right there. Now Marshall will take their time. They do not want to give Louisiana the ball back. They'd love to just drive this down, run some clock, put it in the end zone, or let their field goal kicker win it.
And Quinn has a big leg. Quick handoff goes to Lacey again. And he'll burst forward for about another 5 yards, maybe 6, before Jaden Duggar is there for the stop. Both of these teams now over 200 rush yards in this game.
Now Louisiana may have to kind of gamble a little bit, punch at that football, try to rip something out to get it back.
2nd and 4. Del Rio Wilson will flip it out on the left side.
Nice play.
This will be enough for another first down. Again, this is Michael Allen out of the backfield.
First and 10 for Marshall.
Allen's got 4 catches out of the backfield tonight. And Del Rio Wilson is 19 of 23 throwing the football. And still does not have an interception this year. He has been on target. First and 10 at the 42. Quarterback draw for Del Rio Wilson. He'll be inside the 40 down to about the 37. The Thundering Herd already in field goal position as Jake St. Andre is there to make the stop. Louisiana with 3 timeouts. They're going to run this one down, and we will take this probably down to the 2-minute timeout. And that's what we'll do. 2 minutes left in this one. We're all tied at 34, but the Thundering Herd driving in this Sun Belt Conference opener. Game was 3-3 after one quarter. Both teams scored twice in the second quarter, 17-17 at halftime. Marshall appeared to take full control. This pick six by Hudson, part of a 17-point run, but the Cajuns came back with 2 touchdown drives of 65 and 81 yards to tie it up. But the Herd on the move. They are at the Cajun 35-yard line. And this is the quarterback, Del Rio Wilson. Faked the handoff, carried it inside the 30. That'll be good enough for another first down.
Had everybody fooled with the ball handling there. Looked like it was a speed sweep. He pulls it and moves the chains.
Clock will run again after the chains are set. We're down to 1:30. Louisiana with all 3 timeouts. They'll probably start using them here. But the Herd well within range of Lorcan Quinn. Allen in the backfield with Del Rio Wilson. He will bleed the clock all the way down before calling for the football. Allen again hit hard at the line of scrimmage. And Louisiana quickly takes its first time out. With 1:06 left in this one. Cameron Whitfield was the guy that wrapped him up.
It's their first time out. It will be 30 seconds in length. Please reset the game clock to 1:07. 1:07. Thank you.
The pick six on the tipped ball by Hudson. Grabbed it himself and took it 46 yards for a touchdown. And at that time, Marshall led by 31-17. They added a field goal after this interception. But Louisiana came back. Lunch Winfield providing a spark. 2 touchdowns, closing out drives of 65 and 81 yards. Louisiana with all the scoring here in the fourth quarter. This deep ball complete to Robertson for the tying score. But Marshall has come right back. They've marched it all the way down to the Cajun 26-yard line. And they've got a 2nd and 10. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. He's going for all of it, throwing down toward the end zone.
He caught it.
And making the catch. Floyd Lacey. Wow. His 2nd touchdown catch of the evening. And that is a dagger for the Thundering Herd. Lacey, leading receiver for the Thundering Herd. 10 catches, 129 yards this year. He had 1 touchdown last week. He's got 2 tonight.
Man, coverage wasn't terrible either. He was right there with him. That was Gordon. Just kind of lost sight of the ball, but everybody in the building thought they were going to run it, maybe run it out, try to take a field goal, but let your playmakers make plays. What a throw and catch, and they lead by 6.
Lorcan Quinn trying to tack on the extra point. Kicks up and good. 1 minute and 1 second left in this one.
Louisiana 34.
And what a roller coaster this has been in the second half. Fans that have come down from Huntington, they've enjoyed what they've seen for much of the night. But now the onus back on the Louisiana offense. They've got 61 seconds to play with, still have 2 timeouts. Louisiana has not started out 0-4 in the last 20 seasons. The last time they were 1-4 to start a season was back in 2005. Tonight's actually the first time they've opened Sun Belt play at home since back in 2017. They played their Sun Belt first game of the year on the road 7 straight years. They're hoping that the home field magic can provide something in this last 1 minute and 1 second. Quinn again puts it through the end zone. And Louisiana will take over 75 yards away. And it will be Lunch Winfield. Again taking snaps. Zylan Perry in the backfield with him. Winfield only 28 snaps the entire season coming into tonight. Quick out and out of bounds. Pass is complete to Trey Miller.
The result of the play is another.
That'll be a first down out to the 35 and got out of bounds. Only took 5 seconds. Louisiana will gladly trade 10 yards for 5 seconds the rest of the way. Winfield again back to throw. Now he'll run it himself. He's at the 40. He'll run out of bounds at about the 41. Pickup of 6, and that will put him over the 100-yard mark.
Pickup of 6, 7, 4.
Marshall with only 3 linemen in the game. Now they roll somebody up, but nickel package, D-backs, keeping everybody in front of them, nobody behind them. So you can go underneath and you can get some plays toward the sideline to get out of bounds.
2nd and 4. Robertson comes in motion now. 3 wide receivers to the right.
Blitz.
Under pressure, Winfield, and he's going to throw it out here. He was aiming it in the general direction of Trey Miller.
3rd down.
A couple of the Thundering Herd looking for the flag, but Miller was in the vicinity.
And he made an athletic play to get rid of that one, as Coach Morrison, the defensive coordinator, sends more than that Louisiana line could block.
3rd and 4 with 44 seconds left.
Here they come again.
Winfield back to throw. He gets it to Perry. He's going to go out of bounds. And he's going to be out of bounds short of the first down. So the Cajuns are going to have a 4th and about a yard to try to keep this last-ditch drive alive. Louisiana does have a couple of timeouts.
Hard count, gets him to jump.
Jaleel Rivera Harvey was across the line and making contact.
Offside, defense, number 6, with contact. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That is penalty number 10 on the Thundering Herd tonight for 92 yards. Louisiana has still not been penalized at all tonight. So a first down from the 49. Winfield over the middle, that's complete. And moving up and picking up enough yardage for the first down. That's going to be Landon Strother. Clock will stop until the ball is spotted. Cajuns hurrying to the line of scrimmage. And Marshall's going to take the timeout here. Louisiana at the Herd 39-yard line with 28 seconds left.
First of the half, it will be 30 seconds in length. Please reset the game clock to 31 seconds.
And they'll put 3 seconds back on the clock. 31 seconds left now. Cajuns will have a 1st and 10 at the 39. Louisiana's had 2 games decided in the closing seconds this year, and they've come up short on both of those. They would like to reverse that trend tonight. But they still have 39 yards to traverse and not much time to do it.
And now definitely close enough to throw something into the end zone. I know Marshall will have guys back there, but you have the opportunity to draw a penalty or still go underneath something toward the sideline to move the ball, move the chains, and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Perry is in the backfield with Winfield. Now a couple of the Herd drop back. 3-man rush. Winfield, he'll throw over the middle. It's complete at the 25. It'll be enough for another first down. As making the catch is Perry out of the backfield. 23 seconds left in this one, and the Cajuns will take their second timeout.
Timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
They're at the 24-yard line, and they've got a 1st and 10.
And no panic from Lunch Winfield right there with a little pressure. He's patient, kept his feet planted, kept his eyes downfield, finds Perry. Perry with 2 hands, great catch, good hands right there out of the backfield, and a big play.
25 first downs in the game for Louisiana, 24 for Marshall. Marshall over 400 yards in total offense, 200 yards passing, 224 rushing. Cajuns right behind, 387 in total offense, 214 yards rushing, and now 173 yards passing. And more than 100 yards throwing here in the second half. 1st and 10 at the 24. See if the Herd dials up pressure on first down. Winfield has the snap. Here comes the pressure, lobbing it in the end zone, looking for a man. Did he hold on?
Touchdown.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my goodness. Are you not entertained? What a throw and catch. They got behind the defense, and an absolute dime from Lunch Winfield.
And almost fitting, Dale Martin from right down the road in Maurice. His first start of the year, his first reception of the year earlier this evening, and now he has his first touchdown of his Cajun career.
Can't throw it any better. Martin gets the separation and brings it in for the touchdown extra point, and
Starter's extra point is up and good.
16 seconds to go.
How about this one? 16 seconds left. We're tied at 41. The jump offside set the stage with another first down. And Winfield with his second touchdown pass. He has accounted for 4 scores here in the second half. Martin got behind the defense, held on all the way to the ground.
What a drive, man. What a drive.
Winfield with 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdowns rushing. And now we'll see how Marshall will play it. Probably wait and see if they can spring a return here on the kickoff.
Number 15 for Marshall is reporting, wearing number 48.
Back to receive for Marshall, number 18, Xavier Turner Bradshaw.
Xavier Turner Bradshaw's the deep man
Number 40, Logan Klotz.
for Logan Klotz's kickoff. Klotz to kick it away. Fair catch is going to be called at the 2-yard line, so Marshall not letting any clock run off. They'll have 16 seconds from the Louisiana 25-yard line. You've got a big play guy taking the snaps in Carlos Del Rio Wilson. But you also don't want to get too over the top. You don't want to have a turnover in this end of the field. And remember that Lorcan Quinn, the kicker for the Thundering Herd, has a huge leg. They will not hesitate to try anything around 60 yards. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. He's going to run it out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Pick up about 5 yards in 5 seconds. Now 11 seconds left in this one. They'll actually spot it at the 29-yard line. Officially a pickup of 4.
I think he's a little banged up too. That left leg looks like it's bothering him a little bit. It does go into overtime. We'll see how effective he can be. Lunch Winfield also a little banged up on the other side at quarterback for the home team.
2nd and a long 5. Del Rio Wilson back to throw. He's going to throw it out on the side. That's going to be incomplete, which is probably a break for the Thundering Herd, because if that had been complete, unless they used a timeout, the time would have run out. Now they still have 6 seconds left on the 3rd and 5. Del Rio Wilson has the call. He's got Allen in the backfield with him. Just 3 on the play clock as the snap. Allen will get the carry. He'll go straight up the middle. He'll be knocked down at the 41. Will they put 1 second back on the clock?
That's the end of regulation.
Apparently not. Well, let's wait just a second. The officials are still gathering at the 41-yard line. Looks like we will be playing overtime. 41-41. We'll be back with overtime when we return in the Sun Belt Conference opener.
For Buffalo Wild Wings. Visit.
Hold your horses. We've still got 3 seconds left as the officials, after they went back and looked at the replay, clock should have stopped. It didn't. So it's a first down at the 40-yard line with 3 seconds left in regulation. And the Thundering Herd will have one more shot, and the Cajuns basically have an umbrella back at the goal line. 5 defensive backs are down at the 5. Carlos Del Rio Wilson will probably just wing it down there and see what happens. So here we go with 3 seconds left. And they'll throw it out here in the flat to Lacey.
Oh my goodness.
He's got a little running room. He is going to be slowed down at the 30. He's going to flip it backwards. And we'll do the fumble Ruski play. Ball's still loose. Now it's going to fall to the turf.
Now we're heading to
And now we will head to overtime.
And remember, when the Cajuns end up in overtime, you get free football.
Well, a little excitement in those last 3 seconds. But why not, the way this second half has gone? The flip out to Floyd Lacey. He had a little running room inside the 40. But finally corralled there. He tried to flip it back to one of his teammates. But he is finally tackled at the 23-yard line. And now we will go to overtime. Well, how did we get here in the 4th quarter? Here's how it went. Carlos Del Rio Wilson went deep, and he found Lacey for a touchdown. But Lunch Winfield rallied the Cajuns back with a couple completions and a run of his own. That took it inside the 40. And in the final minute, Winfield lobbed one down the direction of Dale Martin. He made the catch in the corner of the end zone. And that puts us into overtime. The last time Louisiana played an overtime game, that was in the New Orleans Bowl back in 2023. They lost to Jacksonville State 34-31. Last time the Thundering Herd played an overtime game, that was that memorable game last year against James Madison when Marshall won that one in 2 overtimes. That basically put them into the championship game. So we'll have the coin toss. And it looks like Marshall has won the toss. I would feel certain they will want to go on defense first. That's what you would obviously do.
Marshall has won the toss and chosen to go on defense.
That's exactly what they will do. Louisiana will get the football to start the overtime period. Boy, has this one been entertaining.
No doubt about it. Both quarterbacks have rushed for over 100 yards. Lunch Winfield just in the second half, 9 carries, 104 yards. Michael Allen on the ground for Marshall, 140 yards. And Carlos Del Rio Wilson, 103.
Louisiana will have the football from the 25-yard line. Overtime number 1. If you score, you have the option of going for 1 point or 2 points. Beginning with the second overtime, you have to go for 2-point conversions. Of course, field goals can also come into play. 1st and 10 with Winfield. Perry in the backfield. Perry will get the call. He's got some running room. He's up the middle. He's going to get into the end zone.
Wow, touchdown, 1 play, 6 points. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Silent Perry with his second touchdown of the night. 25 yards on the first play.
What a run. Great cutback right there. And he's able to get into the end zone. between the tackles. The hole was opened up. Offensive line gave him a crease, and there's the cut right there that gets him into the end zone.
Bad snap, but Sterner's able to get it through.
Louisiana 48,
25 yards, one play. And it's 48-41, and now the Thundering Herd will get their shot. Marshall will turn it over again to Carlos Del Rio Wilson. 21 out of 26 passing, 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's also rushed for 81 yards. Michael Allen with a 132-yard rush game. He's got 2 touchdowns. And he is in the backfield with Del Rio Wilson. 1st and 10 at the 25. The Herd needs a touchdown to keep it going. Quick throw out to Allen. He's over the 20s, down to the 19. Gain of 6. Trey Tomlinson is there to make the tackle.
Second and 4.
No huddle for Marshall. Del Rio Wilson calls for it. Now he'll change the play. Plenty time on the play clock. Now calls for the football. Throw it over on the left side. 1st down inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line.
Pass complete to number 4, Chloe Lacey.
That's Lacey.
1st and goal for Marshall.
The Thundering Herd will have a 1st and goal at the 7. Again, inside the 5, he'll get down to about the 3.
2nd and goal.
It'll be 2nd and goal. Cameron Whitfield, they're first on the stop with a 4-yard pickup on the first play. Again, and a whistle before the play.
Timeout, Louisiana.
Louisiana takes their timeout before the play. So it will still be 2nd and goal. Marshall leaning on that big offensive line that averages 327 yards a man, 327 pounds a man. And the same 5 guys have started in the Herd offensive front in all now 5 games this year. By far the most experienced group. And they need 3 more yards to possibly send this game into a 2nd overtime. Second and goal from the 3. Allen in the backfield with Del Rio Wilson. Del Rio Wilson will take it himself. He's going to get hit at the 2 and knocked back. He was looking on the left side.
Let's take it up a notch.
He was trying to, Tamarez, the wideout, was trying to shake loose. Duggar made the big hit right at the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and goal from the 3. Field goal does not do any good. Quarterback keeper, and Del Rio Wilson is brought down at the line of scrimmage. And we're down to 1 play. Jaden Duggar makes the hit right at the 3-yard line, and now it's 4th and goal.
Cajuns fans, the team needs your
Great discipline and tackling as they fake the pass. And man, coming up and making tackling, here's the ball game.
There are some tired football players out there on both sides of the line right now.
Over 800
4th
yards
and
of total
goal from
offense.
the 3. And Marshall's going to take their timeout.
Timeout, Marshall. Be 30 seconds in length. It's their only timeout in the first extra period.
What about this one? 3-3 after 1 quarter. And then the offenses arrived.
And Lunch Winfield was inserted into the game. And this could save Louisiana's season. A bye date next week. Get healthy. We may see a new starting quarterback named after the performance tonight by Winfield. My goodness, has he been impressive.
Del Rio Wilson, 23 out of 28, 255 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's also rushed for 81 yards. But the Herd trying to find somehow 3 more yards to keep this game going. We'll see what offensive coordinator Rod Smith dials up, and we'll see what defensive coordinator Jim Salgado dials up. 3rd down. The fans that are still here are getting loud. Allen in the backfield with Del Rio Wilson. He'll look for a receiver. He'll throw it out here in the open. Finds an open man. Touchdown.
Great play, great execution. He looked right, came back to his left. Touchdown. Now they got to get the extra point through.
Adrian Norton slipped through the secondary and was wide open on the left side of the end zone.
Yeah, he came in motion, just kind of got lost. Great play, great call. Touchdown for Marshall.
Quinn on to attempt the extra point. Gavin McGorian snapping. Nathan Totten, the holder. This descended to a second overtime. Snap is up. Kick is up. Kick is good.
Kick is good. Louisiana 48.
Overtime number 2 coming up when we return. We're all tied. Cajuns 48, Thundering Herd 48. We'll go to overtime number 2. You get a look at the overtime. Here in the second overtime, if teams score touchdowns, they must go for 2 points. And then beginning with the third overtime, they will alternate 2-point conversion plays. Marshall with the football first here in overtime number 2. Allen hit hard after about a 3-yard gain.
Number 2, Michael Allen.
Actually just 2 yards. Cameron Whitfield there on the stop. So second down and 8. Louisiana scored in only 1 play in the first overtime, but Marshall drove down and got a 4th down conversion for their touchdown to force overtime number 2. Del Rio Wilson calls for it. Back to throw. Heavy pressure. He's going to lob it out here, and Allen couldn't get there. Del Rio Wilson had to get rid of it a lot earlier than he wanted to.
Pressure in the backfield. Cajuns fans, you've stayed here. You're rooting them on. Let them hear you. It's third.
That's only the 6th incompletion for Del Rio Wilson tonight. Third and 8. And Tony Gibson is sprinting down the sideline to get a timeout.
And Del Rio Wilson was tired before. Now it was a long drive, even in overtime, and he had to rush a couple of times, took a little pounding. They score, they get the extra point. He's got to stay on the field. So, man, I know he would have loved to come off and let the defense go on, but he's got to stay on the field, and he's got to find something here on third down, or they're going to have to try a field goal.
The only other game in the Sun Belt that was still going is now a final. Boise State at home defeated App State 47-14, another non-conference game today. So you're watching the last game of the day for the Sun Belt and the third Sun Belt game today, and easily the best of the three. James Madison ULM earlier had wins. Third and 8. Del Rio Wilson calls for it. Back to throw, throwing over the middle, and he overthrew the man. An open receiver. Lacey was open. The defensive man had fallen down. But it went off the fingertips.
Number 9, Lord Quinn, to attempt the field goal.
Wow, that close. And he might caught a cramp as he tried to.
Yeah,
he did.
I think he's still cramped.
He wasn't able to jump
field
as high as he could on that play right there.
And you can see the frustration.
Wow. Yeah, there it is. You know what that means.
You know, if he hadn't had that cramp and been able to go up in the air, very likely he would have pulled down his third touchdown pass of the night. Instead,
are they backing him up 5 yards?
Okay, they're out of timeouts, so that's one of the rules now is you have to, if you have an injury, you have to back it up. That's basically a 5-yard penalty. Not that that should be a problem for Logan Quinn with the leg he has, but you'll have to hit it now from about 46 yards. And then Louisiana will get their shot. Quinn's got a couple of field goals tonight. And now a flag, and we're going to have 5 more.
Yes.
This is going to be penalty number 12 on the Thundering Herd.
Unreal.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
0 penalties on the Cajuns tonight.
That's impressive. No penalties in a game like this, and the defense kind of shifted right there. Forced one of the Herd to move on the line. Now back them up 5 more.
And now suddenly it's a 51-yard field goal. You get a close look at it here. There was some motion. So now Quinn from 51. He's got a 53-yarder earlier tonight. Kick is away.
Missed it.
It is no good. Wide left.
Oh, we got a roughing. We got a roughing.
There's a flag down right at the line
Running
of scrimmage.
into the kicker.
Or no, back where the kicker
Defense.
is.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
Running into
Replay,
the kicker.
4th
It's going
down.
to be a 5-yard penalty. And Quinn's going to get another shot at it.
Oh, my goodness. A few snaps have been high for the Herd. Wow.
46
stuck
now
his
we'll
leg
go to
out.
46.
He's missed his last 2 attempts. That one didn't count. Let's see if he can get one through.
Snap is low, kick is away. This one looks a lot better, and it is good. 46-yard field goal for Woken Quinn. And now Louisiana will get its crack on offense. A field goal to tie it and force a third overtime. A touchdown to win it.
I think the kicker stuck his leg out and drew that contact right there. Watch him stick his right leg back out. Oh my goodness, he sold it. Academy Award.
But you can't make any contact with the guy, especially with the kicking leg if it's extended. Any contact is, ooh.
It was extended, then re-extended.
Yeah, looked like he might have put the foot out.
Wow.
Doesn't matter now. Field goal is good, and now it's the Cajuns' crack at it. Winfield looking deep.
Oh my
dangerous
goodness.
This is incomplete.
Wow.
And for number 83, Brock Chappell is second down.
Marvay Myers almost ended the game. Pass was intended for the tight end, Chappell. So second down and 10 from the 25.
Touchdown wins it.
Perry in the backfield with Winfield. He'll take it himself. He's at the 20. He's going to be down to about the 17-yard line. Cajuns will have a 3rd and 2. Dateon Smith makes the tackle, and now one of the Cajuns has a cramp.
3rd and 2.
It looks like Dale Martin.
With injured player for Louisiana after the ball was spotted. Timeout, Louisiana.
Cajuns will take the timeout to avoid the 5-yard penalty. And as our referee Ted Pitts said, after the ball is spotted, if somebody goes down with an injury, the team either has to take a timeout or take the 5-yard walk-off.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 19, Dale Martin.
Martin's going to walk it off.
And the Raging Cajuns would like to walk it off with a touchdown right here, Dan.
From the 17, they'll have it 3rd and 2. And they have been able to run the football for most of the last quarter and a half.
And Winfield did a nice job once he got into traffic. 2 arms around that football. No fumble right there as he gets him close to this 3rd and manageable.
Both of these teams with right at 250 rushing yards in this one. 3rd and 2. Perry's the running back. Here goes Winfield. He'll pick up the first down. And he'll be down to about the 13-yard line.
Louisiana.
And a couple of Herd players are slow to get up. In fact, one is still down on the turf. But the ball, the difference here is the ball had not been spotted, so you will not have to be forced to take the timeout or the penalty. And that's Curian Martin.
Marshall's player was injured prior to the ball being spotted.
Some fans are a little upset, but that is exactly the right call. As the ball was not spotted for play yet, and Martin really never got up after the tackle. So Louisiana football at the 13. And you really hate to see that for Martin because, you know, I don't know if that's a cramp or not. He is in some serious pain. And we'll hope that that's all it is.
I think that's an injury. Maybe.
Transfer from Youngstown State.
First and 10.
Second on the team in tackles this year with 23. He'll head to the injury tent to get evaluated. First and 10, Louisiana at the 13. Winfield will take it himself. He'll be down to the 10, gain of 3.
Quarterback keeper by number 2, Winfield. Pick up with 3, second and 7.
Quan Crowder is there to make the stop. Eric, it's almost ironic. The only penalty of the ball game gave the Thundering Herd a second chance at the field goal. The only penalty on the Cajuns, that is. So from the 10, second and 7. Winfield looking for a heel, keeping himself. He's going to get in the end zone.
Oh my goodness, Cajuns win. Cajuns win. Cajuns win.
Watch Winfield. He has been responsible for 5 touchdowns in the second half. And the Cajuns take a 54-51 victory. Two coaches, Tony Gibson and Michael Desormeaux. They're probably about as tired as their players are right now. You can see the frustration on the part of Cam Smith of that defensive unit. The Cajuns win this with 54-51. We'll be back with our player of the game. I don't think it's any surprise who it'll be. Back in just a moment. Cajuns win their Sun Belt opener.
Cajuns athletics.
The Sun Belt Conference opener for these two teams didn't leave anything on the field, as the cliche goes. Louisiana scores a touchdown in the second overtime period to take a 54-51 win over Marshall. Big surprise who our star of the game is. Lunch Winfield is with Ben Schaefer.
Thank you, Dan. Lunch. I don't think I've ever seen a player will his team to victory quite like that. What did this win mean for your team?
Man, we said this the whole week. It's a new season, and our goal is to go 1-0. Every day is whatever it takes mentality. We ain't got nothing to lose. Beginning of the season was beginning of the season. Conference is another breed. We came in to win, that's what we did.
You heard the roar of these fans when you came over here to do the interview. What does this crowd, what does this fan base mean to the team?
I love Cajun Nation, and the team love them. Like, every time we see people coming to our games, our fans, bro, we love it, bro. That's our energy every day that keep us going, man.
Your defense kept you in the fight the whole game. What does that mean to you as the quarterback, just having those guys behind you?
Every day, we tell each other, man, you believe in me, I believe in you. I preach to them every time we have a meeting or whatever. Same goal, same vision. Everybody has the same goal and same vision here. Baby, we here for it. Let's go, baby. He here.
Lunch, congratulations.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Lunch. Eric, let me give you some second half numbers. In the second half, Lunch Winfield rushed for 123 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also threw for 125 yards and 2 more scores, and that's just in the second half.
You mentioned a legend here earlier, a guy named Brian Mitchell.
Let me tell you something, Dan. A legend may have been born tonight. What a performance. Legendary. People are going to remember this game and remember this night for a long time.
With the win, Louisiana improves to 2-3 overall, 1-0 in the Sun Belt Conference. With the loss, Marshall falls to 2-3 and 0-1. What a game tonight at Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium as Louisiana, in double overtime, takes a 54-51 win over the Thundering Herd. For all of our crew here tonight, for our spotter Stevie Pelican, and for my partners, Ben Schaefer on the sideline and Aaron Mouton sitting next to me in the booth, I'm Dan McDonald saying so long from Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.